Doug Brown. The NFL preseason kicks off tonight with the Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio. The Jets featuring new quarterback Aaron Rodgers against the Browns and Deshaun Watson in his first full season as the Cleveland starter. ESPN's Damian Woody.
Pressure is clearly Aaron Rodgers, right? Because obviously when you make that type of move, what's the signal that you're sending as an organization? We're ready. We're ready to compete with the Kansas City, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Buffalo Bills to try to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl.
Damian Woody. Broncos linebacker Jonas Griffith will miss the season with a torn ACL. He got hurt in Tuesday's practice. Griffith started 8 games for Denver last year. First baseball final of the day, the Phillies beat the Marlins 4-2. JT Realmuto with a 2-run homer. The Braves already have the best record in baseball, and tomorrow they get their ace back on the mound. Lefty Max Fried will start Friday's game against the Cubs. It'll be just his 6th start of the season. He's been out almost 3 months with a left forearm strain.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. They're close, convenient, and have the parts you need fast, along with excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, 2 men, 1 journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit. Let's go! Tank Spencer, Jeremy Green, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings.
Welcome into the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, and we are seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat and tell us how freaking happy you are that football is back.
Football! Ah, it's back!
We got the Hall of Fame game tonight. Jeremy's
2023 Super Bowl champion, New York Jets, Jets.
That won't be the last time you hear that today on the program. The Jets facing off against the Cleveland Browns in the Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio tonight. And
you know what that means? It's time for your first football banger. And I got a preseason banger for you.
Stop that.
Oh, yeah. That's how bad it's gotten for me.
So tired of doing baseball. He's just all in on preseason football betting.
In the last 6 weeks, I have bet on 2 sports that I'm not sure where they were played, the WNBA and Major League Baseball. And nothing I just told you was a lie. Let's go. Football!
So, yeah. No Aaron Rodgers, obviously, because you'd be stupid to play him.
Yeah, if Aaron Rodgers plays tonight, I reserve the right to fly to Canton and have a word with Mr. Sala.
No Deshaun Watson for the Cleveland Browns, because why would you again? So it's going to be Zach Wilson taking the opening snaps of the game. And for the Cleveland Browns, Kellen Mond.
Again,
let's
go.
ride.
Over under minutes of this game you will watch. See, because you strike me as the guy that's going to turn it on and go, football.
Yep.
And then 12 minutes in, you're going to go, Sopranos.
I was going to say 15.5. That's the over-under for me. And I would probably wager the under. But
I think we should come up with a preseason drinking game.
Okay.
Every time a catch is made by somebody you know definitively is not making the roster, you take a sip of your drink.
Okay.
Every time a play is made that doesn't look like it actually happened in the NFL, like a guy's just running along and just drops. Oh, I fumbled. Did anyone touch you? Nope.
No.
Shot.
Okay.
I could keep doing this.
All right. I mean, I feel like you should. You've been threatening us every Super Bowl with a Jeremy's Flostradamus bingo card. Why have you not done that yet? First
for
off,
a preseason game.
I mean, because that's the only way preseason football is
we
interesting.
could have a drinking game for this show. Every time I say Jason Brownlee's name, you have to take a shot. If you're driving a car, don't play.
Don't play.
Because this won't end well for you.
That's right. The only way you can make preseason football interesting to me is if I was 7 sheets to the wind. Just, I love football.
Yeah, that's probably where I'll be. I don't care, okay? It has been way too long since I have seen helmets and shoulder pads and pigskins and let's go. And I am geeked.
GG Gambling says you could take a sip for how many times the camera brings up Aaron Rodgers. Well, there's not enough alcohol.
Yeah, there's not enough alcohol in Buncombe County.
No,
I would consume it all.
Aaron Rodgers is the 1A to 15Z story to talk about with the New York Jets this year. And that's not throwing shade at everything else that's good to talk about that team. It's Aaron Rodgers 24/7.
Shot every time they show the soon-to-be inducted Hall of Famers.
Okay.
I think just what I've said is enough for you to have just a whale of a time.
Possibly so. Yeah, no, the preseason football, especially when you tell me that there will be 0 snaps by the starters in this game, or at least the starting quarterbacks in the game, yeah, my interest completely goes out the window.
I got an HG of the old fear ball, and we're gonna have us a whale of a time tonight.
Sweet, I can watch Zach Wilson against Kellen Mond. What is this 2024 XFL football?
Hey, I think Zach Wilson's actually gonna be pretty good tonight. And then again, I've said that
shouldn't he
a lot of times.
I'm just saying, like, shouldn't he be? I mean, if he's going to get significant snaps against the backups for the Cleveland Browns, then, yeah, you better have good stats or else you shouldn't be on this team anymore.
Well, I've argued that for I'm not sure I wouldn't feel better going in with Tim Boyle and Chris Streveler. But that's just me.
Since about week 5 of last year's season is when you finally gave up the ghost on Zach Wilson.
Yeah, he went DTM for me. It's about week 5.
DTM?
Dead to me.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where we are. Could he get back into the good graces? Sure. Come out, have yourself a big day tonight. That's fine.
Yeah. No satisfied Browns fan. Aaron Rodgers will not play tonight. They've already said he's not good.
Well, I mean, you got to understand these 2 teams had to play 4 preseason games. So I don't think you're going to see anybody that you've ever heard of for more than 2 or 3 series. Even Kellen Mond and Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson probably plays the first 2 drives, and then they seed it to either Streveler or Boyle. Mm-hmm. And whichever one doesn't come in when Zach Wilson sits down, the other comes in the third quarter.
Right.
Do get to see Dorian Thompson-Robinson tonight for the Cleveland Browns.
Ooh.
Hey, look, I'm just trying to give you things to watch. All right? You know what this is better than? Baseball bangers. No going back. 1,000 points of light.
Also, points for One Nation Underground, who says Rodgers much prefers DMT.
You're not wrong. It's fine. My quarterback does crimes. That's fine. You know what else he does? Scores touchdowns.
That's right. We still have we still have other things going on tonight with the Hall, other than the Hall of Fame game, things in the NFL going on. You got the Hall of Famers that are going to be out there. Darrelle Revis, he's finally getting
greatest corner of all time.
Really?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Greatest Jet of all time?
It's close. I would say he and Curtis Martin are 1 step behind Joe Namath.
Wow. Okay.
Joe brought us a ring. Sorry, he wins. He wore
We're talking about player here. We're talking about greatest player in Jets history.
He wore fur coats, dated Marilyn Monroe, and won us the Super Bowl. Winner. Curtis Martin, Darrelle Revis, love them both. You didn't do any of those things.
See, I saw one of those memes posted out yesterday about this is the best player for every NFL franchise, and they had Joe Namath for New York, and I went, I can't sign off.
Well, I mean, you're missing the point. Is he the greatest on-field player? No, but there's more to it than that.
I mean, means more to your franchise. All that. I get that.
Oh, no,
But
if you're
you
going
can't
greatest
say
player, it's
just
Darrelle Revis.
ex-greatest player.
If you're
it's
going
Darrelle Revis.
If you're or Curtis Martin.
Yeah. Curtis is 2.
Curtis is a top 5 running back in the history of the NFL.
He's 2 behind Revis, to me, in Jets history.
But I'm looking forward to seeing Revis going in tonight. Got Joe Klecko going in. It's a great time to be a Jet fan.
Chauncey wants to know if Michael Carter, Will McDonald, or Michael Clemens are playing today.
I don't know, and
All right, so don't know on Will McDonald.
he signed late. If he does play, it won't be much.
Okay. One Nation also asked Gastineau.
He's up there. He's in the top 5.
Okay.
If we're talking just straight up craziest NFL players of all time, Mark Gastineau, right there.
With Bill Romanowski.
Yep, he would be up there.
Antonio's number 1.
That's a different kind of crazy, but I like where your head's at.
Vontaze Burfict right behind it. Actually, you got to put Burfict 1.
No,
because he made Antonio crazy, right? Isn't that the lie that everybody tries to tell? Antonio Brown was completely level-headed before Vontaze Burfict gave him CTE.
Broke his brain. But
Which is not
you got actual honest-to-God football tonight.
Yep.
You can lay a wager on it if you want to.
Yep. And, of course, camp battles are heating up. None more than down in Tampa, where I keep telling you. I'm telling you. You've been trying to tell me. Oh, it's Baker Mayfield's team. Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. You brought this up. I didn't want to do this. Let me make this perfectly clear about Baker Mayfield and Kyle Trask. Story came out yesterday that those two are deadlocked. If that's true, which I don't 100% believe, but let's just say I did. You're in worse shape than I thought. And Baker Mayfield is either the starter for this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team or he shouldn't make the roster. Mm-hmm. To me, there's no in between. He's not a backup quarterback. He is one of those guys, and I'll go down the list that we've talked about 1,000 times: Colin Kaepernick, Cam Newton, Tim Tebow. Yeah, not a backup. Because there are still kooky Madookies that think he could be a Hall of Famer in the right situation. No, he couldn't. I will reiterate, all of you called me crazy. He's the biggest bust of the last 10 years, and I'm not sure it's all that close.
Baker?
Yes.
Okay, I agree.
He is. You didn't. You didn't agree a year ago. Said I was being spicy and trying to get clicks. I might have said he was the biggest bust ever, but okay. He's certainly the biggest bust the last 10 years.
Sure. I mean, the guy's picked number 1 overall. There's expectation that goes along with that. Baker's never lived up to it, and now he's probably going to lose the starting position with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to a guy who just 3 weeks ago, everyone that you could talk to within, outside of or connected with the Buccaneers franchise went, yeah, I don't know.
He's alive.
And now it's, well, compared to Baker, Kyle looks pretty good.
Bill Belichick asked Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, are they not bigger busts than Baker Mayfield? No, for 2 very specific reasons. 1, they didn't get number 1 overall.
Right.
2, there wasn't an elite, probably first ballot Hall of Famer that went behind either one of them. The 2 quarterbacks that went behind those 2 were Justin Fields and Mac Jones. You took quarterbacks because you had to, and they had a lot of raw talent. They just didn't pay off. Mm-hmm. You took Baker Mayfield over Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Josh Rosen, probably right on that one, and Lamar Jackson. Mm-hmm. That didn't go your way. And the sad part is, I said it the minute you did it. You'll regret this for a long time. In Cleveland, weird. You do.
You do. You absolutely do. Because now he's not even going to be able to start for the Bucs, one of the worst teams in the NFL.
So what happens to him if he doesn't? I'm asking you a theoretical question here. Mm-hmm. What happens to him if he's not the starter? Do you think they would try to carry him as the 2?
Absolutely.
I don't.
I think they would.
I don't know that he would want to be carried as the 2.
He's not getting a job anywhere else. Nobody else is bringing him on.
Oh, I heard Cowherd say this yesterday, that if he's not the starter in Tampa, he should just retire, call it good, mm-hmm. and take an analyst job. Mm-hmm. And the more I thought about it, I think he's right.
I think
he's right.
Yeah, only thing you can do here for yourself is to make it worse. Right? you keep trotting out there, you keep losing jobs to rookies and guys that some people don't even believe should be in the league.
Oh, present company included.
Right. You keep losing jobs like that, you will be more. I think you will be more looked at as the great bust of all time over Ryan Leaf if you extend this pain.
Satisfied Browns fan said, "Damn, Jeremy, gloves off for the next 3 hours, huh?" Nope, that's the only negative I'll say about Cleveland because you tapped out on it. I'm judging Tampa. I'm not going to say as hard as I did Cleveland. Cleveland figured out where they were at in a couple years. Mm-hmm. This is not it. We got to go get a quarterback. And they did. And I respect that. I have always found it to be really stupid that teams just bounce their head off the wall with high-end draft picks like that we know where they are. Mm-hmm. I'll say the same thing about the Jets, who were trotting theirs out tonight. Zach Wilson ever going to be the starter of the New York Jets?
No.
Now Aaron Rodgers is talking about playing 3 or 4 years. If that's the case, cool. You got a backup job for 2 years. Hope you really show out in the preseason. And then I don't know where you land from there.
Find a backup job somewhere.
But the two teams you got playing in the Hall of Fame game tonight, they both took quarterbacks really high. I don't think it took that long before they realized, oh, we boo-boo kittied this. Mm. And they both, it cost you a lot, but you moved on to bigger and better things. And now I think both of them are legit contenders.
I would agree. Sometimes
that's what good teams do.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to play that game. When a name becomes available that you never thought you'd have a shot at before, take your swing. Everybody ripped Cleveland for doing what they did. The contract was stupid with Deshaun, but I understood the move. Greatest quarterback in Cleveland Browns history. Without ever even taking a snap. Aaron Rodgers, same thing with the New York Jets. Best quarterback you've ever had. Sorry, Joe Namath fans, but Aaron Rodgers has surpassed him by leaps and bounds. Actually, he did that after, 3 years in the league?
I do. Tank and I were discussing something yesterday. We were all for a Braves game, and we came up with an idea that, we make the I'll bet you bets.
Yeah.
On a weekly basis. And I came up with an idea that I think we should do a board that tallies all these bets, and the loser at the end of the year has to get a tattoo that is at the behest of the other.
Which again, I'm against. As long as you can we can set the parameters of the tattoo beforehand.
Yours is Bucko Bruce with Tom Brady's face.
Yeah.
Yours is the Bucko Bruce tattoo with Tom Brady's face in it.
Well, I have to ask permission first, and we'll see how that goes.
That's insane. You ask forgiveness, not permission. You've been married for 20 years. If you place this in the right place, she might not see it for 6 months.
I heard no lies. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains
disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Wendy's is open till midnight or later, so you can give in to the craving and go night mode. Now all of your favorite menu items just got their bedtime extended. You can get what you want even later, like the bacon with 6 strips of bacon, or the perfect fries and frosty. If you're up later, then so are we. So go ahead and go through the drive-thru. When the craving hits, go night mode at Wendy's. Open till midnight or later. All right, see ya later.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary.
This is my Carolina Panthers bobblehead, my 04 NFC Championship jersey, and my Panthers scratch-off from the North Carolina Education Lottery.
Whoa, you could win $200,000 and even 4 season tickets to the Panthers Vault? Why haven't you scratched it?
It's in mint condition.
New Panthers Scratch-Offs. Enter to win season tickets to the Vault, a field-level premium seating experience. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 4.23. Carolina Panthers is a registered trademark of Panthers Football, LLC. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
If you're suffering and there's a safe, natural, easy-to-use solution to help make you feel better, wouldn't you at least want to try it? That's why millions of people use Navage nasal care to help relieve their symptoms of sinus congestion, allergies, snoring, and other nasal-related problems. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, helping flush out everything that makes you miserable. Nearly 4 million people use Navage to breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. People like Dee, a verified Navage user who writes, "From years of having a permanently stuffed up nose to being able to breathe is life-changing. Food tastes better, and I no longer go through boxes of tissue a day." Unquote. Navage is the safe, drug-free solution you've been looking for. Available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, Target, and Navage.com. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. The Iowa Criminal Division has been investigating gambling by college athletes in their state. And if you missed the story when it came out and broke yesterday, 7 current or former athletes with Iowa and Iowa State are all wrapped up into this, including Ioma Wazirike, who just got popped by the NFL.
Yeah, this is one of those that she goes pretty deep because you got your starting quarterback at Iowa State, you got the kicker at Iowa, who by the way bet the under in the was it the Seahawks?
Yeah,
I don't even think that should be a crime.
That was free money.
You should bet the under in the Seahawks every year. If you'd done it every year for the last 10 years, I think you'd have won 8 times.
Right.
I'm not even mad at you for that one. But it is weird that all of this happens in the same state. I would say these are 2 of the bigger betting scandals we've had in a long time.
Absolutely.
And they happen right down the street from each other.
Mm-hmm. And I'll bet you it's happening everywhere.
Oh, I have no doubt about it.
I will bet you if every state and every state that does legal gambling, once they start looking into who's making the bets, who's making the wagers, they're going to find that more and more are doing this because every one of the 7 players that are charged, there were 2 football players, there was a basketball player, a baseball player, it was all manner of sports where these athletes were charged, but every one of them is charged with basically tampering with evidence, tampering with the records, because they were making the wagers under other names.
Yeah, the kicker was playing under his mom's name.
Yeah, playing under a different name on the gambling site and then making wagers not only on your sport but on your team as well.
I mean, look, as a college student, you got to find ways to make money. One Clemson, now former Clemson Tiger, tried to do that. I'll tell you that story in the next segment. I mean, look, you got to find ways to make money. One Nation Underground in our YouTube chat said Sports League's partnering with gambling sites. What could go wrong? I don't think it has anything to do with it. It is easier to do. So now you don't have to go to Atlantic City. You don't have to go to Las Vegas. You can do it from an app on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. You can do a lot of things from apps from your phone. Doesn't mean you should do it. All right, there's probably an app on your phone where you can buy crimes. It doesn't mean that you should. And if you do it, you're going to deal with the consequences.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of where I'm at with gambling. If you're so stupid that you don't understand that you're going to get popped for this, because you're going to get caught. Now I want to say the part of this that the longtime gambler that I am is this is the headline to me. It's not that Iowa State got caught. It's not that Iowa got caught. It's not that either one of them were doing it. Now you know.
Mm-hmm.
Now you know. Because here's the thing. For many, many years, I would argue these same players have been doing this same thing. You know what's different when it's legalized? There's rules. There's things you have to do. You ever wonder why you have to put in all your information into DraftKings? That's why. And something I found out as I was doing the background for this story, do you know how all these players got caught?
How's that?
Because every person that you are attached to is subject to being investigated for anything that they do.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, your whole tree of known associates is being flagged by DraftKings and FanDuel and Caesars and all of these different people that have partnerships with the NFL or college football or whatever the case may be, because they're trying to keep you from doing this. This is not new. Pete Rose got caught because he was a moron and because he was an absolute degenerate, just like Art Schleister was. That doesn't mean other guys didn't do it. They just did it with a bookie in a back alley, and they made so much money off of it that they kept their mouth shut. Now you're doing it through an app. The beauty of technology is it's really hard to outrun. So I've been trying to figure out exactly how to say this. This is not new information. These are not new things that are happening. It's new that they're getting caught, and that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And you mark my words, I don't know how bad it will be for Iowa. It won't be pretty. Iowa State is going to get annihilated over this because it was their quarterback. You got to make an example at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Is it fair? No. Life's not fair. Some people in life are born 5'7", some are born 6'5". Ask Tank, ask me. All right? Much easier for me to grab bowls off a high shelf than it is for Tank. That's not fair. The only fair in life shows up in your town once a year, and it's got funnel cakes and Ferris wheels. Sorry, Iowa State. Maybe control your program a little better because you had one of the few players you have put into the NFL that got popped. And as soon as he got popped, all of it ran downhill, and they went, whoa, there are some anomalies happening here. Because people like me are who catch you. When I start noticing, and I've only had a few that ever really raised red flags with me, and a couple of them have been confirmed to be true. You start doing weird things where beats with you are inexplicable 3 or 4 times. People like me go, nope. Something there is odd. It's how Arizona State. That's how they got caught years and years ago. Basketball games nobody cares about. You know who does care? That guy that's betting a stack on Arizona against Arizona State. That's how you get caught.
Now, none of this, there have been no accusations of point shaving or trying to influence the outcome of any of these games.
Doesn't matter.
The investigation is basically just on abusing the system and using fake records.
You did something you're not allowed to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like Pete Rose. Everybody has always been stuck on, did Pete Rose bet on his own team? Was he betting against his own team? None of those things matter. None of that matters. Now, it might matter for how you perceive it. It doesn't matter for how the leagues perceive it. Because there are a percentage of people that think sports are fixed. I think those people are absolutely out of their minds, and that's coming from a guy who doesn't think birds are real. But you have to understand that David Stern was the best commissioner, I think, in professional sports over the last 40 years because he understood this better than anybody else. The perception becomes reality if you do enough things that steer into conspiracy theories. Mm-hmm. It's like the frozen envelope. Does any of that make any sense? Does it make any sense that the best prospects that we've had in the NBA draft in the last 40 years have gone to the San Antonio Spurs 3 times? The New Orleans Pelicans? No. It's stupid.
Well, no, it's because they got caught doing it for Patrick Ewing.
And that's the problem, is that Patrick Ewing made it make sense. So for 40 years, that's been a conspiracy theory.
Absolutely.
In spite of the fact, if you're fixing it, you're really bad at fixing it. Doesn't matter. That perception became reality and stays forever. So now you're going to see Iowa State catch the brunt of this. You're going to see Iowa probably catch a little bit of it. I don't really know why I feel like one is worse than the other. Uwazurike from the Broncos, I know definitively that he bet on Iowa State football games.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to burn you. I know the kicker for Iowa, whose name has eluded me, I know he bet on the under in an Iowa football game. That's going to burn you because you have to cut this off. And this is the first time that we have had names and teams and examples of something going the way it's not supposed to, and the NCAA is going to make an example out of you.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. When we return, we'll get just a bit outside.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
We have been tracking the rain coming in from Tennessee and from the northwest. Some places have had inch-plus downpours. There have been some flood alerts up to the north of the city. Mid-60s tonight with rain chances diminishing as we head into the evening and just spotty showers in the Friday forecast, 82 degrees. Sunshine returning for Saturday with a high of 87 and a stray storm Sunday, 85. I'm meteorologist Scott Laramore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Irish Spring, the fresh scent of Irish Spring. And the sensational Irish Spring Suds are just the reset you need to own the day. Irish Spring. When the spring hits you, you're ready. Pick up Irish Spring at your local retailer today.
Macy's one-day sale starts tomorrow with great deals of the day on back-to-school essentials they need now, like 40 to 50% off kids and juniors outfits, 25 to 50% off backpacks, bags, and accessories, and get their dorm room set with 40% off small appliances from Bella, Crux, and more. Plus, download the app for even more great deals of the day at Macy's. Savings off sale and clearance prices, exclusions apply.
On How Rude, Tanneritos, the Full House Rewatch podcast. Join characters Stephanie Tanner and Kimmy Gibbler, also known as actresses Jodie Sweetin and Andrea Barber, as they relive every episode of your favorite Friday night comfort show.
We spent our entire childhoods on a little show called Full House, playing frenemies, but becoming besties whenever the cameras weren't rolling. And now, 35 years later, it's our biggest adventure yet.
Listen to How Rude, Tanneritos on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is my Carolina Panthers bobblehead, my 04 NFC Championship jersey, and my Panthers scratch-off from the North Carolina Education Lottery.
Whoa, you could win $200,000 and even 4 season tickets to the Panthers Vault? Why haven't you scratched it?
It's in mint condition.
New Panthers Scratch-Offs. Enter to win season tickets to the Vault, a field-level premium seating experience. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 4.23. Carolina Panthers is a registered trademark of Panthers Football, LLC. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
The free iHeartRadio app covers the sports teams you love like no one else. Catch the latest breaking news, plus the upcoming NFL season's just around the corner. And iHeartRadio is your official podcast partner of the NFL. Make the iHeart app your go-to to stay up to date on all things in the sports world. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to ESPNAVL.com.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
Attention, it's time for the morning announcements. Make sure your parents are aware of the Ingalls Tools for Schools program and ask them to link their Ingalls Advantage card to our school. Remember, you have to do it each year. Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Back in the Sportsocracy inside the Ingles studio, and there is shenanigans happening.
My story is certainly about shenanigans as well.
Different kind of shenanigans.
Different kind of shenanigans.
Than mine. My story comes to you because I am the more wholesome of the two. So this is the more wholesome story here.
Saying you're more wholesome than me is kind of like saying you're shorter than me. Yeah, the vast majority of people aren't. So. Don't know that I would put a bumper sticker on the back of my car that said that, but more power to you.
There are shenanigans, controversy, investigation coming in regards to the FISU 2023 World University Games. So, 100-meter dash. There was, they lined up all these ladies from different countries to compete against each other.
As you do.
As you do. And everybody's in an uproar because the runner from Somalia, her name is Nasra Ali Abukar, she broke a world record. She did something in the race that no one has ever done in the history of the women's 100-meter race at any games. But it wasn't because, there was doping. Well, there may have been doping going on, but not the kind that you think that make you, run faster, appear to be athletic.
If she was doping, I'm really scared of what the time would have been had she not been.
She was definitely on weed or something because the record that she broke was the slowest 100-meter in competitive history. No one has ever been in a race to this level and run the 100-meter dash in 21.81 seconds. That was a full 10 seconds behind the winner of the event.
For a point of reference, Tank can run the 100 meters in roughly 19 seconds.
Exactly. I would have dusted her. I watched the video on this several times and went, I'm not the most athletic of people.
Understatement.
And I think I look better running than that. Because she looked like the girl in your gym class that just didn't want to be there. Was just going to, coach says everybody take a lap. And there's the one girl at the end that doesn't even want to be in PE. She's just taking it because it's required by the state of North Carolina and just kind of jogs. That's what this looked like. So here's the story of how it happened and what the big controversy is over is every athlete that is tied to Somalia in any way is super upset right now because, the person who selects all of the teams and all of the runners and competitors, it's her uncle. So he put his niece in the World University Games. He had to have known that she can't run fast. She didn't even look like she knew what the rules were. When the other ladies were lined up at the start-finish line, they're all situating their hands behind the line and getting in their blocks, and she's just kind of standing there looking around going, I'm supposed to bend over? Okay. Do I put I think at one point she actually put her knuckles on the ground and was like, oh, wait, they're not doing it that way. I got to spread out my fingers. She had no clue.
It wasn't a good look.
No. So there is a massive investigation going on, and every Olympic athlete from Somalia is now looking for a way to oust the leader of the Olympic Committee down there.
Your story was about something that wasn't a good look. My story also about something that's not a good look. It's about current Ole Miss linebacker T.J. Dudley. You ever heard that name before? He was a 4-star recruit. Played at Clemson, and in this offseason, he got in the transfer portal, and he went to Ole Miss. Nothing that amiss about that until yesterday when a report came out that said why Mr. Dudley got into the transfer portal. This started with a Twitter called Beatin' the Bookie, which I think is a brilliant name for a Twitter account, and I'm just going to read this verbatim. T.J. Dudley sold pictures via OnlyFans of unsuspecting teammates in the Clemson locker room. It didn't go well when the team found out, and he was then dismissed from the team. So let me try to unpack that for you, because I've been trying all day to go, how did you think that was going to be a good idea? First of all, I don't know who's buying these pictures in the first place because as a grown adult man, I can tell you, not the greatest look. So I'm not really sure who your audience is, but Mr. Dudley came up with this idea of I've got a cell phone which has a camera, and I'm in a locker room with a lot of nude men, and I'm going to take some pictures of said nude men, unsuspectingly put them on my OnlyFans, and see if that doesn't drive me up some of that NIL money. You ever have somebody tell you an idea, like they come to you and they I got this great idea for a business. I'm going to open a bakery, and it's only open from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. David, that's the stupidest idea I've ever heard in my life. Nobody told TJ Dudley that. Apparently, he didn't have like an investors meeting or tell anybody of his plans. I've gone down this rabbit hole of it almost didn't end particularly well for Mr. Dudley because allegedly there were a few of his teammates at Clemson that had less than ideal responses to being featured in his web content.
None of that should surprise anyone.
As I would be. I would. Well, I don't know that I would be. I don't know that I'd be that angry. I'd have one very basic question: how many people paid for mine? I got to know
how many hits my picture
had. Do
you
have any email addresses? Maybe some pen pals, because I don't know who's looking for that. But let's go. Start my own business.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if anybody is going to OnlyFans to find content like that, like a motion to you like that, that's probably someone you don't want to have a relationship with.
Well, let me just be honest with you. My OnlyFans getting more clicks than your OnlyFans.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Now yours, you do have like size 14 feet, and you're like 5'6", so. I'm not trying to say anything.
You're starting to send me down a path here of going, you know what? There might be something to this whole foot fetish thing.
You know what they say about men with big feet? They wear big socks.
What about if you have big feet and you have monkey toes? There might be a market for that somewhere.
You've also got ears that stick out like the doors on a 67 Chevrolet. So it's a specific niche you're hitting there, Tank.
It's a goofy-looking dude.
It's a goofy-looking dude.
He better be packing.
I'm really glad that segment went exactly how I thought it would, because that's how it went when I told him the story this morning. And then there were a few other things that we couldn't say on the terrestrial radio.
Obviously. Stop doing weird stuff in locker rooms.
And then you asked me about did anybody do weird stuff? No, nobody did weird stuff like that when I was in school.
No, not like that. It's just weird stuff in general.
Oh,
weird stuff happens in every locker room. It doesn't matter if you're in middle school or if you're in the professional in the NFL. Like, it doesn't matter where you are. There's something weird, uncomfortable. Something has happened in every locker room.
Well, here's the thing. I had a tradition. Jeremy goes to the shower and he showers staring straight up. Don't know what's happening down below, but I don't need to know. So let's get a little shampoo in the hair, maybe a little soap. Let's go out that way.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Because this is weird.
Never showered in a locker room.
So you're a grossman, is what you're telling me.
I would leave stinking.
No way.
100%. There's no chance I was getting in that locker room, in that shower, with a whole bunch of other naked dudes.
Here's the thing. My nudity does not bother me. It might really bother you. But, yeah, I don't care. I have to. I shower twice a day. So I'm.
Junior year of high school, I had to sit down with the coach, with the PE teacher, because he was like, you should probably take a shower.
Yeah, stop being a grossman.
And I went, no, I'm not. Because first off, I'm not getting in front, and I'm not getting naked in front of a whole bunch of dudes in the first place. And it's going to be immensely worse if I go in there with a swim trunks on. Exactly. Yeah, see, that face right there was like, yeah, that's the weird kid. We don't talk to him. So I'm just, you know what? I'll put my shoes back in the locker and just go to class.
Two great opportunities for comedic genius that Tank missed. Wearing swim trunks in the shower in high school and being the kid that peed his pants in Billy Madison. I don't know how funny that would have been for you, But I would have gotten just a ton of traction out of it.
Absolutely.
And I'm very sad that you didn't.
Yeah. Like I said, something weird happens in every locker room, and I guarantee you 100% of the time, those weird things have happened to dudes wearing swim trunks in the shower.
Yeah, that thought never even crossed my mind. I just went, hey, I don't want to smell bad, and there's a shower right there. Things that happen around me, I can't control.
Yeah.
I gotta get right there and get out of there.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. We got to continue with our off-season files. We've only got 3 teams left to go over their off-seasons. And now let's talk about the Seattle Seahawks. Jeremy, this is a team that you are higher on than I am.
Of which, if you had told me that going into this offseason, I would have said you were out of your mind. I can't figure out. Every time I talk about Seattle, it almost seems like you give me the side eye, and I don't know why.
Because I don't think they're a contender. I don't think anything about this team is a contender.
Okay, explain that.
Geno Smith is your quarterback. I don't care that he had like the 5th best season in the NFL last year. Okay, that's fine. But he's been dog doo for most of his career, and I don't think that he can do it again.
And yet, all right, so let me see if I can unpack this. So, because a guy who was a highly rated recruit, he was a highly drafted quarterback. He played with the Jets, who were a disaster, and he was a backup other than that. That guy you can't get behind. But Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy, who you saw for 6 games against the dregs of the NFL, that you can get behind.
Because his team's better.
I can't make that make sense.
Because his team's better.
This team was this good with C.J. Beathard and Nick Mullins. You want to know what their combined record was? 5-17. And I'm going to level. I don't think Brock Purdy's any better than that. I don't.
Okay.
Now, they start Sam Darnold, we got a whole different discussion to make because him, I could see a Geno Smith level transformation out of him. If Geno does what he did last year again, this team is going to win no less than 11 games. I think they will win 12 or 13 games.
Okay.
Win the division, and you will have to go through Seattle to knock them out of the playoffs. And by the way, the defense is vastly improved. I mean, looking at their defense, name me the weak spot. Where are you really going to be able to get one over on them?
I mean,
there you go.
Yeah,
that's kind of that's kind of the point I was trying to make here.
Defensive line, maybe.
They go no less than 8 deep with NFL level players. I'm not telling you any of them are great, but I think it's a sum of all
parts.
The
weakest. I mean, obviously the linebackers are not a weakness with Jordan Brooks and Bobby Wagner and Uchenna Nwosu. The secondary is good.
Fantastic.
I mean, Devin Witherspoon is going to be a dog if he can ever sign his contract.
He'll be fine.
They'll sort that out at some point.
He'll be fine.
Yeah. Jamal Adams, Quandre Diggs. Yeah, I get it.
It's one of the best secondaries in the league. It's one of the best linebacking corps in the league. It's a lot of talent in the front 4. By the way, offensive line, real good. Skill position players, real good.
I just don't think they're as good as San Francisco, and I don't think they're going to win the division.
All right, let me ask you a question. Take the quarterback out of it.
Yep.
From 2 to 53, you're telling me you think the San Francisco 49ers roster is just exponentially better than Seattle? Because I will tell you definitively.
I guess. It's a game better. Because I got San Francisco at 12 wins, and I think I got Seattle at maybe 10 or 11.
And I'm not sure I can even go that far. San Francisco's really, really good on the high side. They've also had a just horrific history of injuries, and they're not that deep. To me, I don't even know that this is all that. When I said this originally, I didn't even think it was all that spicy. And then your reaction to it was like I'd said that the Texans were going to win the Super Bowl. Outside of Geno Smith, who just had one of the best years in the NFL. Outside of that, you don't have a weakness on this roster. And yet, because it's Geno Smith, we have this reservation about how good Seattle's going to be. If Geno's name was Tom Smith and he was some 7th-round draft pick who you had only seen last year, Seattle would be a Super Bowl favorite. Prove me wrong. Brock Purdy's starting quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks right now.
Mm-hmm.
With how many of you seem to feel about him, they would be the favorite in the NFC. Them in Seattle, or them in Philadelphia, excuse me. Not close. I don't think it's debatable. But because you can't get over the Geno thing, because of what he was with the Jets, they're not. Doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me in the least. That's an 11, 12, 13-win team, and they are going to be a nightmare to knock out in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. And you think they're a legit Super Bowl contender?
Yes. If you told me a team in the NFC not named Philadelphia went to the Super Bowl, somehow you went back to the future and you found out this information and you brought it back and you were a jerk and you would only tell me one thing, and that thing was that the NFC representative in the Super Bowl is not the Philadelphia Eagles, I would be so torn on the Dallas Cowboys and the Seattle Seahawks that I'd probably just throw a mint on the two of them because I don't think anybody else has a shot.
Okay.
I don't think there's another team in the NFC that could make it to a Super Bowl outside of Philadelphia, Dallas, Seattle.
Interesting. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Look, Pete Carroll, I talked smack about Seattle last year, and I said the same things that I'm saying this year. I don't trust Geno Smith. There are too many question marks. But they ended up making a run last year, and they were a hell of a good, surprising team.
And that was a team with a ton of young pieces.
Yeah.
They don't have
Just
nearly as many young
because
pieces.
I don't see them winning this division, I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender, doesn't mean I don't like the team, doesn't mean I don't think that they're good. They can sneak up and win some games that I don't expect them to, but I still don't. I just still can't wrap my head around them being a Super Bowl contender for some reason.
They start 4-0 going into the bye week. They play the Rams. They're in Detroit, who has no weapons whatsoever. Carolina at the Giants. You start 4-0. From there, I don't see 2 back-to-back games that they lose outside of one stretch where they have to play San Francisco in there's a Thursday night game there. In a 3-week stretch, they play San Francisco twice and Dallas, and they follow that up with Philadelphia. Outside of that, there's really not back-to-back tough games on the entire schedule.
Cleveland, Baltimore. Weeks 8 and 9. That's
okay.
a tough 2-game stretch.
You're right.
But I get what you're saying. And it's and I respect it. Look, Jonathan Welch, he doesn't like the fact that I'm downgrading the Seahawks. We don't have to agree on everything. I'm not saying you're bad. Just saying I don't think you're a contender. And I will be thoroughly surprised if they do win the division and go on to make the Super Bowl. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Football's back, baby.
Bangers.
Bangers are next.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Attention, it's time for the morning announcements. Make sure your parents are aware of the Ingalls Tools for Schools program and ask them to link their Ingalls Advantage card to our school. Remember, you have to do it each year. Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Meet Joe A, Joe B, and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with AutoSave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect, support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Wendy's is open till midnight or later, so you can give in to the craving and go night mode. Now all of your favorite menu items just got their bedtime extended. You can get what you want even later, like the Baconator with 6 strips of bacon, or the perfect fries and frosty duo. If you're up later, then so are we. So go ahead and pull through the drive-thru. When the craving hits, go night mode at Wendy's. Open till midnight or later. All right, see ya later.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary. That's Mike saying good morning. It's the best he can do right now. Yeah, not a cloud in the sky. What Mike could use is a fresh start. And Irish Spring Body Wash. The fresh scent of Irish Spring and those sensational Irish Spring suds are just the reset Mike needs. Now he's ready to go to work. It's Sunday. Irish Spring. When the spring hits you, you're ready. Pick up Irish Spring today.
Spring in the South means the return of Atlanta Braves baseball.
There's a liner out towards center field. It will lay down. Here comes Ronald. Braves win it.
The 2023 Braves load up for another huge season.
The Braves play here on ESPN Asheville.
Coffee's for closers only. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the wealth.
Finally, we get back to football. This is Green on Green, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. Okay, it's just the Hall of Fame game, but it's still 11 guys on offense, 11 guys on defense. They're wearing helmets, and there's a dead pig in the middle of the field. That's enough for me after nothing but baseball since the NBA Finals. Tonight, my 2023 Super Bowl champion New York Jets are a 2-point favorite in the Hall of Fame game against the Cleveland Browns. Over-under is 33.5. Now, I'm going to tell you a dirty little secret about betting preseason games. I always said if I did it, you should immediately take me to a meeting in the basement of a church because I obviously have a bit of a problem. Over the last few years, it's been pretty easy to figure out preseason games because the lines don't change, because you don't really know what you're getting out of a team. So I'm going to give you a little stat. It'll probably tell you where I'm headed with this. In preseason games since 2008, where the visitor is favored and the total is below 37 points, the over is 45, 24, and 1. What does that mean? Now, in this game, there's not really a visitor because it's a neutral site game. The Jets are technically the visitor, but that doesn't really matter. So let's zoom it out a little further. The over on games where the total was below 37 has hit 58% of the time since 2007. If you don't know gambling all that well, 58% will make you a very wealthy individual. And tonight, you get Zach Wilson, Chris Streveler, Kellen Mond, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, all quarterbacks trying to make a mark in some shape, form, or fashion in this league. The over is easy to me. I am aggressively going over the 33.5. Now, for who wins, that's more of a toss-up. One of you, I get Zach Wilson, who was the number 2 pick in the NFL draft. The other 3, I get quarterbacks that I don't really believe in. So I'm going to go with the better quarterback. Give me the Jets. I'm going money line. I don't trust spreads in preseason games, and I never will. Jets minus 130, over 33.5. For more, find us on all the social medias at The Sportsocracy. And as always, love the savings with Ingles. Love the winnings with me. Mull it out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
We have been tracking the rain coming in from Tennessee and from the northwest. Some places have had inch-plus downpours. There have been some flood alerts up to the north of the city. Mid-60s tonight with rain chances diminishing as we head into the evening and just spotty showers in the Friday forecast, 82 degrees. Sunshine returning for Saturday with a high of 87 and a stray storm Sunday, 85. I'm meteorologist Scott Laramore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's BOGO $1 deal. Wendy's BOGO $1 deal is back at participating Wendy's. Buy a Dave's single, spicy chicken sandwich, 10-piece nugs, or medium frosty, and get another for $1. Double your deliciousness. Hurry, this BOGO deal won't last.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Since 2010, Blindster has sold millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters to satisfied customers across the country with 20,000 5-star reviews and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Custom blinds at low prices and free shipping. Blindster.com.
Spring in the South means the return of Atlanta Braves baseball.
There's a liner out towards center field. It will lay down. Here comes Ronald. Braves win it.
The 2023 Braves load up for another huge season.
The Braves play here on ESPN Asheville.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown in Canton, Ohio tonight. The traditional kickoff to the NFL preseason, the Hall of Fame game. It's the Browns and the Jets. ESPN's Damian Woody says Cleveland's Deshaun Watson was a top 5 quarterback in the league before his off-the-field issues.
I think it's imperative for him to kind of bounce back. I don't know if he's going to be top 5, but he needs to be like a top quarterback. Dude, you're getting paid $230 million guaranteed. Like, I need some return on that.
Damian Woody, the sale of the Charlotte Hornets is now official. A group led by Rick Schnall and Gabe Plotkin now holds the majority stake in the team. After 13 years as majority owner, Michael Jordan will now have a minority interest. One of the agencies investigating alleged sports wagering violations by athletes at Iowa and Iowa State announces there's no evidence that the outcome of games was affected. 7 former Hawkeye and Cyclone athletes were criminally charged this week.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Green, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingalls Supermarkets.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. We're seen live in the Ingalls studio on YouTube. Go to the sportsocracy.com, sportsocracy.com. Click that live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat.
First day with the new words.
Football is back. We got the Hall of Fame game coming up tonight. It's going to be, Jeremy's going to have a lot of fun. He plans on drinking all of the alcohol and enjoying all of the fourth stringer action.
Oh, yeah. Anybody that lives within probably a 500-foot radius of me should be really prepared to hear, Jets, 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 Jets. No less than, I'm going to say 13 times.
I don't even see how drunk you can care that much about the training camp.
Let me ask you a
football.
Question. You've enjoyed a beverage or two with me in my life.
Yeah.
You ever seen me do that quietly?
No.
There you go. That's how.
But I would think that your logic would take over and go, oh, wait, this doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I don't have any of that. Flies right out the window.
Oh, Rob Salah is 5-0-1 in preseason games.
So do I get 90 guys wearing the helmet that's behind me and Jets uniforms? It's good enough for me. I haven't seen a game that mattered in 7 months. Yeah, I don't care. Let's go.
I was going to say,
let's go.
And you still won't at the culmination of tonight.
I haven't seen a game, period, in 7 months. So let's go.
It is the Sportsocracy, and not only are the Jets one of the spicy favorites in pro football, but Jeremy's Florida State Seminoles are also amongst the favorites.
Your 2023 NCAA champion, Florida State Seminoles. Put it in the air. Let's just you know what? Let's all hold hands, get behind something, be a part of something. Let's go. It's bigger than you are. It's a movement.
You don't get 3 championships in 1 year.
Oh, if I do. If I do.
That's an edict.
You should just take next year off. Because I will be the most insufferable person on the planet.
Between your Nuggets, your Jets, and your Seminoles, something like that can't happen, right? You can't be a fan of 3 more remote teams and have it all hit in the same year. I mean, that's like astronomical. That's like Powerball odds right there. right?
Hubert Queen said I should take my 1 for 3 and be happy. I will be happy with 1 for 3, but I'll be good and ecstatic over 3 for 3.
And you'll be pleased, of course, with 2 for 3. But Florida State, the talk is out there again. Go leave the ACC behind.
Okay.
After President Richard McCullough came out and said that, well, the university is very seriously thinking about other options unless something happens with the ACC's money, with the distribution to the schools.
So there are 2 paths that this can go. Either President McCullough doesn't understand how relationships work. Because, see, to be in a relationship, you have to have party A and party B who want to be together. Doesn't work any other way. I mean, there can be 3 or 4 parties. It's a new world, all right? But you all have to want to be together. So what is that landing spot for Florida State?
SEC.
SEC has no plans to expand past 16 teams. Greg Sankey came out and said that today.
Mm-hmm. Big Ten.
Academically, they do not view Florida State as a membership school of the Big Ten. Next.
Big 12.
Big 12 is not an improvement over the ACC. It's not. I mean, you can be the best team in a 20-team conference that is spread across the entire continent, and you'll make about 8 cents more. Congratulations. Mm-hmm. It's not worth the legal headache.
Mm-hmm.
The only way this makes sense is to undertake what the legal of this, trying to challenge the grant of rights and all of those things. If you think the ACC is going to continue to exist, which I do, the only way it makes sense is if you land in the SEC or the Big Ten. Problem is, one of them doesn't want you, and the other is not to the expansion point yet.
Mm-hmm.
And even if they are, I'm not sure you're who they would choose. The SEC makes infinitely more sense with Clemson and with Florida State.
Absolutely.
The problem is you got 7 teams in the ACC that, yes, they are talking to each other. Those 7 teams are Clemson, Miami, Florida State, Virginia, Virginia Tech, North Carolina. I'm forgetting one. It'll come to me in a minute. NC State. Those are the 7 that have been talking amongst themselves. Okay, let me break that down for you. The SEC nor the Big Ten have even a modicum of interest in Virginia, Virginia Tech, or NC State. They could be convinced on Carolina because Carolina academically fits into the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
They could be convinced probably on Miami because Miami is a very good school in what it's good at. It's just not to the level of what they're talking about. Neither is Oregon, and I'm hearing that could be done in the next 2 weeks. So it also involves them taking Cal and Stanford, which I do not under any circumstances understand why anybody would eschew a piece of the pie for those 2 dumpster fires. But they're really smart. Yeah. So is Northwestern. It doesn't mean it really does anything.
Well, yeah, but you want that school. I mean, the higher-ups want those schools to even things out.
I genuinely don't understand why. It doesn't provide you with really anything. In terms of being tied in this conference, it's not bringing you squat.
Mm-hmm.
Football revenue is bringing you – that's the reason the conference exists. If it wasn't for football, we would have disbanded these things long ago. Florida State can be as unhappy as they want to be. What I just told you was path 1. I fully believe path 2 is actually where we're at here. They're trying to hold the ACC's feet to the fire of we're the ones bringing you primetime spots.
Mm-hmm.
We're the ones getting on ESPN and on ABC, and we play a game on CBS every year with Florida that is always a nationally syndicated game.
Mm-hmm.
What's Virginia bringing you? What is Syracuse bringing you?
Nothing.
What is Pittsburgh bringing you?
Nothing.
They're catching the same amount of the pie that we are.
Mm-hmm.
And they've already done this once. Clemson, Florida State threatened to leave a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they changed that now the champions in basketball, the champions in football, there is a financial benefit to that. They're going to get what they want here too.
Absolutely, and they should.
Because if Florida State and Clemson leave, I don't care what you bring in here. Conference is dead. I know we live in North Carolina, and this is a basketball state. You will flounder in no time. You want me to prove that? You remember the Big East? Yeah, everybody thought that couldn't go away either. In a heartbeat.
Yep.
And you know when it went away? Because all their football teams wound up in the ACC. Basketball can't sustain you. It can't. It does not make the money unless you don't do hardly anything else. Gonzaga, they don't do much else. They're not like a baseball power. They're not any of those things. They make their money on basketball, and they don't have a lot of expense other than that. You want to be that? You probably can. But the seven powers that be in the ACC are telling the higher-ups, we hate this deal. It was stupid that we signed this deal. We're kind of stuck in it, but don't challenge us.
But, I mean, you had no real choice but to sign it when the deal came about. But times have changed, and money has changed, and viewership has changed, and all of that. And the outside money has changed. The money outside your conference is too great, and it's going to swallow you up. And so you keep getting these, just these tiny little checks to the schools compared to what the teams in the Big Ten and the SEC are going to get. You're going to get left behind.
Well, so you're already left behind.
This is Florida State and Clemson trying to keep up with the rest of the pack. They need a larger slice of the pie, and I agree with them. If you bring more eyeballs, you get more money.
Well, the problem the ACC has is they don't have many brands. They have North Carolina and Duke basketball, Florida State football, which is coming back, Clemson football,
Miami. It's a brand.
It was a brand. It doesn't really move the needle the way that people think. It did at one time. You've just been so mediocre for so long. I mean, look, we talk about where Florida State has been. They won a national title 8 years ago. Miami hasn't even been reasonably competitive in 17 years. Yeah, your brand has fallen off. Now, could you bring it back? Absolutely, but you're going to have 2 or 3 years of being actually legitimately competitive instead of us talking about you in the preseason and then you fall off and go 7-5 and lose to Middle Tennessee State. Sorry, Miami, that's where you're at. I'm not saying that as a Florida State fan. Florida State was this close, and then Jordan Travis and Jared Verse and many other guys on this roster showed up and have really pumped life back into the program. The problem is that you don't have a place to land. You're talking about the money changing with the Big Ten and the SEC. That's the only place it's changing. The Big 12 just signed a deal that carries on for a really long time. That's virtually the same thing the ACC did. The Pac-12, their deal, if the conference even continues to exist, which I don't think it will, I would say you have got a death knell in the Pac-12 within the month of August. By the time September rolls around, I would wager you're looking at the Pac-12 going, that doesn't exist anymore. You got a commissioner in place for the next year until it dies because their media deal's up at the end of the year and all of these teams can jump ship. Arizona and Arizona State already meeting right now about going to the Big 12. And they will. Washington and Oregon end up in the Big 10. They take little brother Cal and Stanford with them. That puts the Big 10 at 20 teams. They're not adding anything more than that. The scheduling of 20 is going to be a nightmare. The only possibility is that when the Big 10 gets to 20, the SEC goes, okay, now we've got to do something. There's only a handful left out there. We'll go get Clemson. We'll go get Florida State. We'll go get Miami. And I think the other one would be North Carolina, but I'm not positive of that.
If they decided today, if Florida State's leaders got together today and said, screw it, we'll pay whatever needs to be paid, we're officially free agents. You don't think the SEC would come calling?
The SEC has said
You don't think the Big Ten would come calling?
The SEC has said repeatedly they don't want to go past 16 at this juncture. Like I said, the Big Ten going to 20, that might change that. That hasn't happened yet. They have not had the opportunity to respond to that yet. Could it change? Sure. The Big Ten? No. Florida State, I said this earlier in the week. I will say it until I am blue in the face. The Florida State Seminoles will never play not one game in the Big Ten. Not because they don't want to. The Big Ten has less than zero interest in them, and they have less than zero interest in Clemson. They would rather have Cal and Stanford than either Florida State or Clemson. I know that sounds crazy.
Would they rather have them over Oregon? Because you told me that there are a lot of people in the Big Ten that don't like the fact that Oregon's involved in this.
Well, you get into some layers of that because USC does not want more West Coast teams. They brought UCLA along because they knew that was the only way it was getting out of the California legislature. They couldn't leave UCLA out there to die. So they came with them, and the Big Ten accepted that. They didn't really want UCLA, but it was at least an acceptable alternative.
Yeah.
Because that's a very good academic school that does have some money that they don't traditionally spend. If the Big Ten had their druthers, it would be Notre Dame. That's who they would really like to have. Now, would they rather have Florida State over Oregon? I don't think so. I don't think so. Because Florida State doesn't have another academic institution they can bring with them. I mean, Carolina might go, but then then Clemson becomes the free agent, and you're risking if the Big Ten doesn't take them, you're risking them going to the SEC, which just makes the SEC stronger. Mm-hmm. And so at some point it comes, okay, let's just not kick that bee's nest. The SEC and the Big Ten almost have a handshake agreement of if we don't kick that bee's nest, nobody gets stung. So we'll just go get Oregon, and we'll get Washington and Cal and Stanford, and that changes, in my mind, nothing for the SEC. You have a lot of teams. We'll give you 2 or 3 years, see if it works. If it does work, maybe we'll explore going further. But I don't think there's anything imminent. I can't see a path. And now, just bear in mind, this comes from a Florida State booster, so I know what I'm talking about pretty well. I can't imagine a world where Florida State, Clemson, and anybody else plays anywhere but the ACC for the next presidential term. If you can get out, and I think that's probably 2 years of legal battling just to get out, I don't think you could be done before 28. That's probably the earliest this could happen. And even then, I don't know where you're going to land.
Yep. The news today out of the Big Ten is that the school presidents have authorized the commissioner to explore conference expansion with the focus on the 2 Pac-12 members that have already been rumored, Oregon and Washington. There's also talk that they may be interested in Cal and Stanford joining as well. Will it get done this week, or will it get done in the next week? We don't know.
The Pac-12 is on fire.
The Big Ten still wants to expand, and the only place to draw from at this point is from the Pac-12. You're picking the bones of the Pac-12.
Well, because that's the one that's on fire. I mean, if you're the Big Ten and you have interest in these schools, they have to find somewhere to land. There was a report that came out yesterday that said Apple is the leader in the clubhouse for their television rights. Do you know how much that deal would pay? Even to 9 schools, it's less than $20 million a year. They're not signing that. And that's the best they've got because the Pac-12 is a dumpster fire from the top down. And USC was the pretty girl that made it look a little more competent than it was. As soon as that went away, you just realized this is a train wreck. There's nothing here. And the leadership is awful. And so now you've got the remaining members trying to find somewhere to land. And I can't see a path that I could see all of them having jump shipped in 2 weeks, and this is the last year of the Pac-12. It completely dies.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 240 westbound between Monford Road and Exit 3 due to an accident. Future 26 eastbound very busy between Riverside Drive and 240. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slow between Long Shoals Road and Airport Road. 40 westbound heavy delays between the Smoky Park Highway and Georges Branch Road. In North Asheville, Merriman Avenue northbound near Edgewood Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road delays. I'm Lemon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. At Blindster, we offer over 50 different custom window treatments, including faux wood blinds and shutters, all at prices less than retail. Plus, we'll send you free samples before you buy. Don't hire an expensive pro. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
This is my Carolina Panthers bobblehead, my 04 NFC Championship jersey, and my Panthers scratch-off from the North Carolina Education Lottery.
Whoa, you could win $200,000 and even 4 season tickets to the Panthers Vault? Why haven't you scratched it?
It's in mint condition.
New Panthers Scratch-Offs. Enter to win season tickets to the Vault, a field-level premium seating experience. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 4.23. Carolina Panthers is a registered trademark of Panthers Football, LLC. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Did you do it yet? Have you opened the free iHeartRadio app and listened to this station to be entered to win $5,000? Each day you come back to listen on the iHeartRadio app is another entry for $5,000 in cash. It pays to listen on the free iHeartRadio app. Download it today.
Meet Joe A, Joe B, and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with AutoSave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect. Support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Crooked teeth may embarrass kids whose families can't afford braces, and trying to fix their teeth themselves can make things worse. Luckily, there's Donated Orthodontic Services, a program from the American Association of Orthodontists. For children and teens who qualify and are matched with a volunteer orthodontist, treatment can be life-changing and help them smile with confidence. Learn more at aaoinfo.org.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Attention, it's time for the morning announcements. Make sure your parents are aware of the Ingalls Tools for Schools program and ask them to link their Ingalls Advantage card to our school. Remember, you have to do it each year. Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
The NFL's Hall of Fame game is tonight. Was it 7 o'clock?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock start.
Pre-game starts at 7.
On NBC. And see, that's really the thing that gets me. If the Hall of Fame game were on any other channel other than NBC, I just don't know that I want to start my football watching with Chris Collinsworth. Like, I don't feel like I'm in a Chris Collinsworth mood today.
Just turn it down.
I hate that guy so much. Can't stand him.
You are a Chris Collinsworth pit guy. Like, if he ever disappears, he could be in a pit underneath your house.
Possibly.
Or
He's never been a fan. Never been a fan.
We have 2 of these.
I'm your huckleberry.
One from our buddy Armchair Commentary. It said, no time in the new NFL to wait on quarterbacks to figure it out. He's 100% right. And the other from our buddy Pennywise.
I'm your huckleberry.
Would it be insane to do a fantasy draft tonight? Not at all. A little early for me. But it's not that early.
Yeah. Let's do a fantasy draft. Tell me about it. I'll be there. I'd much rather do a fantasy draft than watch the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah, Tank is a mock draft prostitute.
I am.
Like,
I am. The Sleeper app has changed their system. It took me forever to find what I needed to find. so I could waste more time on mock drafts.
And now you're getting booted out of mock drafts from people that think you're a dum-dum.
I was. I got into a fantasy draft the other night, had the number 1 pick in the mock draft, and took Bijan Robinson number 1 just to see what the reaction would be. I immediately got kicked out of the league. And I went, well, they would really hate Jeremy Green's take on things. I thought it was quite hilarious.
So I don't do mock drafts. They don't know squat. Although this is probably as good a time as any to announce to the people the thing that we've been conspiring there, Mr. Spencer.
Mm-hmm.
That was your cue.
You're throwing it to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're the one that announces things, and then I give my commentary.
I was like, I don't know what you did because I was still reading comments on the YouTube page. Yeah. So 1 week from today.
I mean, we've heard a lot of people say, well, you've taken a lot of days off with the Braves. A, it's not our choice.
Right.
B, you're not wrong.
Right.
So we saw an off day next Thursday, and we started conspiring.
That's right. So next Thursday, we have decided, starting at 12 noon on Thursday, live solely on the YouTubes, we will have the quarter marathon fantasy football episode.
It will be on YouTube exclusively because obviously we won't be on terrestrial radio because of the Braves. So we will go 6 hours answering your fantasy questions. That will be the unveiling of the Mullet Man and the Canton Ultimate Draft Kit. For those of you that were wondering why we hadn't been pubbing that, it's because we pushed it back and went, that day. That'll be a great day. And there will be a lot of things that go into that. We'll do some mock drafts. Our rankings will be scrolling on the side.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a fun day.
It is going to be a fun day. So we're going to do the quarter marathon.
Yeah, because I don't have 24 hours in me. I will fall asleep.
No, fantasy football, all fantasy football centric quarter marathon, 12 to 6, 1 week from today,
uncensored
on this here YouTube's. Not on ESPN Asheville though, because that'll be Atlanta Braves baseball. But there you go. Where everyone who's upset that we keep getting bumped by the Braves, well, this is your opportunity to still get your Sportsocracy fix next Thursday, despite the fact that we won't be on the terrestrial radio or the iHeartRadio app.
Look, it'll be fun. We can uncensored really cut it up about fantasy football and all the different things. There will be a charitable element to it because we will really be kicking off the battle for the belt. There's more to that. We just keep adding things. Tank and I were picking out belts today. It has been designed, but there are a few little intricacies of it that it needs.
Mm-hmm. Links in the description of the YouTube video for the Ultimate Fantasy Draft Contest for us to host your draft and give you the red carpet treatment, stream your league's draft online. We'll be drawing for that in under 2 weeks.
Yes.
So you need to get in while you can. All the links are in the description of the YouTube video. You can also find it on our social medias. You can go ahead and get your tickets for that contest, get in on the battle for the belt, get in on the, get your chance to get into the show league, which is also going to be drafted the same day as the featured league in the Ultimate Fantasy Draft Contest.
Basically, the Ultimate Fantasy Draft Contest, there will be a draft for the winner, which is going to be the main event, but it's also going to be a big old boozy congregation for we, the constituency of the House of Reprehensibles.
Indeed.
And we will have all of the details on that as soon as it's drafted. We have to make sure that whoever wins the league can draft that day, and we're kind of filling everything else around it.
Yes. So anyway, fantasy football season is here. It's not crazy if you want to do a draft tonight during
early for me.
During the Hall of Fame game. You want to wait as long as possible to make sure that you're not drafting somebody that's going to end up on the PUP list.
Oh, no doubt. For me, my home run swing this year, every league I'm in, and I don't remember the final count. I think it was 19, is the week that there are no preseason games. So it's the week where that fourth preseason game would be.
Mm-hmm.
That's where all of my drafts are. about every day of the week, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like that takes a lot of purposeful planning on your part to be in leagues that only draft that week.
Well, I don't do drafts that aren't live. And if I have to drop one, I drop one. Goes by seniority. I got like 6 leagues I've been in forever.
Mm-hmm.
So if I've got one I've been in a couple of years, and they're like, well, we can only draft that day. Well, I won't be there, and I'm not letting you draft my team because you're a moron. So not giving you a bill just because you took a kicker in the 8th round, doofus.
All right, so mark that on your calendar 1 week from today, the Fantasy Football Quarter Marathon here in the Sportsocracy on the YouTube channel, 12 until 6. It is the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. Also, those of you in the YouTube chat, and if you're not in the YouTube chat just yet, make your way over to the YouTube chat so you can tell us what we're going to be drafting in the daily draft coming up at the top of the next hour. We started doing that on Thursdays. It's the People's Choice Daily Draft. So get your ideas in on the comment section now.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
We have been tracking the rain coming in from Tennessee and from the northwest. Some places have had inch-plus downpours. There have been some flood alerts up to the north of the city. Mid-60s tonight with rain chances diminishing as we head into the evening and just spotty showers in the Friday forecast, 82 degrees. Sunshine returning for Saturday with a high of 87 and a stray storm Sunday, 85. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and exit 3. 240 eastbound slow between exit 3 and exit 4A. Future 26 eastbound slow between Broadway Street and 240. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slow between Long Shoals Road and Airport Road. 40 westbound delays between the Smoky Park Highway and George's Branch Road. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road. Traffic stop and go. An accident reported in this area. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road northbound, approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Merriman Avenue northbound near Edgewood Road is slow. I'm Lemon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Fall into autumn hiring with Indeed. Their all-in-one solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Sponsor a job and immediately get a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Every day you breathe in thousands of tiny little germs, allergens, and viruses. Don't let these invisible invaders make breathing through your nose impossible. Flush them out with Navage. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, helping flush out everything that makes you miserable. Nearly 4 million people use Navage to breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. People like Dan, a verified Navage user who writes, I've had trouble with my sinuses for decades. I always thought something like this was a gimmick, but one use and I'm hooked. I should have bought this a long time ago. The results are immediate and incredible." Unquote. If you suffer from sinus congestion, allergies, or snoring, then Navage is the safe, drug-free solution you've been looking for. Navage is at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Foo Fighters,
Fall Out Boy,
Kelly Clarkson,
Kane Brown,
Lil Wayne,
Lenny Kravitz,
Miguel,
Public Enemy,
Sheryl Crow,
Travis Scott,
Tim McGraw,
TLC,
30 Seconds to Mars.
Get your tickets now.
For 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
AXS.com.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy. Time to get weird. And this is the weirdest headline for sure that I saw today. U.S. rape suspect can be extradited back to the States 2 years following his death.
Wait, what?
Yep. That definitely qualifies as a weird story, and then you get deeper into it, and then it all starts to make sense. So there's this guy who just had to appear in court in Scotland yesterday, where the judge said he can be sent back to the United States to face charges of rape and fraud. Now, the man is known in the United States to authorities by the name of, well, I lost it. I lost his name. What a great story this was. It was fantastic. It was chock full of rich, organic information.
You really brought it. We've only worked 2 days this week.
Here's
why God, you couldn't even highlight a name.
Here's why I'm confused, because there's 3 names involved here. All right, it's the same guy. Or at least the courts say it's the same guy. He went by one name in America, and he did that in Utah, and then he like started going under another alias when in the same year he was brought up in fraud charges in Maryland. And then like he was going through the court process and then he died. And then he resurfaced when he got COVID and went to the hospital in Scotland, and they went, okay, things aren't matching up with this guy's background. They traced him back to the United States, and then that's when all the red flags and stuff started going off for American authorities. Now, this guy has gone through all of the name changes here. Last name, Alahaverdian, Rossi, and Arthur Knight is now who he claims to be now. That he is an Irish immigrant living in Scotland. But here's the thing. He doesn't speak an accent that anyone can tell where he's from. When they say, why do you match the description of the guy that's wanted for rape in Utah and fraud in Maryland? He said, well, it's because they framed me. When he got COVID, he apparently went into a coma in the hospital. And he says the police framed him for being the guy that's wanted in America by tattooing him with the same tattoos the other guy had while he was in a coma in Scotland. That's his stance. Swears to God he's not this person. Even though every court says he is. His fingerprints match the other guy. And the tattoos all match the other guy. And oh, by the way, yeah, he's also, now facing charges for faking the death as well.
So basically, your weird story is a criminal that claims they didn't do it and they were set up. I don't think that's that weird. My story made me feel some kind of way for 2 separate reasons. One, it starts on Threads. You remember? You remember Threads? You remember when that was a thing for like 14 seconds? And then we all realized it was just Twitter without any of the cool things that Twitter has.
Right.
Then Twitter changed its name to X, and now we don't know how to say it. Well, who owns Threads? That would be Facebook, which is owned by one Mark Zuckerberg. McDonald's, great friend of our show here, they put out a Threads post that said, y'all want anything from McDonald's? Which, first of all, don't be so thirsty on social media, okay? Like, don't just go, hey, will somebody please interact with our threads so that we can bump up the SEO? Because at this point, threads is dying, hanging by a thread. But Well, Mark Zuckerberg, being the man of the people that he is, he answered their question with what his McDonald's order would be, and it caused our first threads kerfuffle. And then it made me feel like a fatus because his order that everybody's talking about, he's eating so many calories to gear up for a fight, is exactly what I order from McDonald's every time I go there. A 20-piece chicken McNugget, delicious, barbecue sauce only, a quarter pounder, a large fry, an Oreo McFlurry, and an apple pie. Now, why is this weird? Because I then, after seeing this, went to the McDonald's and ordered that same thing. Nobody looked at me any kind of way.
No.
Apparently, at 6'5", 280 pounds, they just look at you and go, that sounds about right.
Yeah, that's an appetizer.
Yeah, they didn't ask me if I was going to eat it in my car either, which it really made me sad. Go full in and out. Will you be enjoying this in your car? Part of it. That's why I got the apple pie. I needed something to hold me over until I could get to a place with a fork.
A fork? Nothing on there requires a fork.
What are you, a cop?
You don't eat burgers with a fork.
Depends on what kind of burger it is. Does it have big tomatoes on it?
I've seen you eat a steak without a fork.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
It was one of the first days I ever went over to Jeremy's house of the coronavirus shutdown. I walked into the house, and he's literally got a steak knife with a T-bone on it, just eating it like it's a
caramel apple.
Yeah.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. Look, we were all trying to cut down on Jeremy's back then.
So you just use the same fork over, or the same knife over and over?
Just use a knife to spear all my food and ram it into my cram hole.
I'm not sure that's what they mean. Maybe it's because Mark Zuckerberg's such a wee man and has looked like a wee man for so long that everybody goes, oh my God, how can he eat that much? I mean, this guy's, he's doing like everyday MMA training. Like, there's a reason he's eating this many calories.
And I'm sure he could hold his own with other women. It's if he comes up against a large man like me that he could potentially have a problem. Oh, I'm a black belt. You're also a whittle feller. Just a whittle boy.
Sloan Jordan just broke my brain. He says he eats Oreos with a fork.
Yeah, you dunk it in milk. You dip it. You slide the fork into the cream, and then you dunk it into the milk and eat it off a fork. That's way more common than you think it is.
Yeah, it's weird. Don't do that.
Well, because not everybody wants to put their hoof in their milk like you do. I mean, look, we could put your food in a trough like you were a llama and you would eat it. Some of us want to be more civilized with our food choices.
Yeah, no. It's always,
I didn't say it was me.
You dunk the cookie and you try to time it out so then when you turn it up to pull it out, it doesn't break off and fall in the bottom of the glass. That's always been the way to do it, or the way I've always done it.
I got
to think about using a utensil to eat cookies with.
But
I see why you do it.
First of all, Oreo, most overrated cookie on the planet.
Stop.
I mean, the Chip Ahoy, if anybody actually purchased them, would be the most overrated cookie.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say
no,
it was
the Chip
better.
Ahoy's awful.
Like, good Lord.
I mean,
you want cardboard?
The
awesome.
Chip Ahoy is as dry as a horse hoof, and I've never understood. Oh, but it's got chocolate in it. A lot of things have chocolate in it, Dorothy, and they taste way better than that. Because that is not a cookie. That is a travesty.
Yeah.
Best cookie.
The best
You're
cookie?
choosing a cookie.
Like off the shelf?
Yes. You go to your local
Oreo.
Ingles supermarkets, low prices, love the savings, and you pick what cookie.
It's the Oreo.
That's just wrong.
What is it?
First of all, I don't like cream. So Oreos I make Oreos into a cheesecake crust, and that's literally the only reason they're ever in my house.
Mm-hmm.
Put them in a bag, beat them with a rolling pan.
Okay.
Make a little crust.
They're now saying this should be the daily draft.
What, cookies? There's not 10. Because it's Nutter Butter, end of message, repeat the line. Nutter butters are all. Listen. They're tankerous. I have seen you eat food off the floor. Do not act like you were too good to eat a Nutter butter.
I'm not. I like Nutter butters, but they might be top 5 of the best.
No doubt.
Best cookies.
Number 1 with a bullet. You know what doesn't belong on that list? Anything that starts with lemon. You hand me a lemon cookie, we're gonna fight immediately.
Yeah. Although I did buy some, I did buy some chocolate chip cookies the other day. That they were like an organic brand. Or it had organic on it, but they were cheap. They were on sale. And
How was an organic cookie cheap? As soon as I see organic, I
don't
go,
know.
Nope.
It was one of those like here's 12 cookies for $6.50, and I went no. But then there was that little tag on the bottom of it. Ingles, low prices, love the savings. $3. I went okay. I'll spend $3 to see what these cookies taste like, and they were phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything organic. Okay, like my father.
Why? Because just the name organic means it's too bougie for you?
No, it's not even that. It's just it doesn't do anything. My father will only buy organic chicken breast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't need a chicken that was read a bedtime story and softly put into its bed. I don't care how big is the bird's breasticle and can I eat it. That's all I need. I need it to be a sizable portion and to be able to cook it. That's all I need. I don't need it to be organic. This chicken felt really good about itself before it met its maker.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. Just give me a bird and let me eat it.
Yeah. No, the Nutter butter falls down on the scale for me just based on the fact that it has no chocolate. And I'm looking for chocolate if I'm looking for a cookie.
The peanut butter with the graham cracker. Oh, yeah. Ugh. Secret time, peanut butter, better than chocolate. And I don't think it's all that close.
You're weird.
I, after like 11 shots of tequila, made myself a peanut butter sandwich last night. Don't know why, because I made dinner, which I did not eat, and then I just crammed down a peanut butter sandwich with about a pound of peanut butter on it. Peter Pan that I procured at my local Ingles.
Did you drink the alcohol? Continue drinking the alcohol with it?
I actually had a shot of tequila halfway through the sandwich. That was where I went.
What is your drink of choice? What is your drink of choice?
With milk?
Because you don't just do a peanut butter sandwich dry. You have to be any human to do that.
I don't usually drink with food. Like I eat food and then I will consume my beverage.
How you can choke down peanut butter like that?
Oh, because peanut butter's awesome. Because peanut butter's fantastic. Frankly, I can just dunk a spoon in it and eat it. Which is
but
why
you have to have something to wash it down.
Yeah, tequila. I already already did this, okay? I've already been down this path. You're not listening to me.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Drivers slowing 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Exit 3. Future 26 eastbound stop and go between Broadway Street and 240. 26 eastbound slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Airport Road. 26 on the westbound side slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound heavy delays between the Smoky Park Highway and Georges Branch Road. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road. An accident in the stretch on the Royal Pines side. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road, northbound, approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. I'm Lemon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Fall into autumn hiring with Indeed. Their all-in-one solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Sponsor a job and immediately get a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see. Depression won't show up on an eye chart, and you won't find PTSD by looking at a thermometer. Sorting out a mental health concern takes professional diagnosis and treatment. Anxiety won't just go away under a bandage. If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, call 1-800-662-HELP for free and confidential information and treatment referral. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
Okay, next time you're at the store, I dare you to not think about the unmistakable fresh, clean scent of Irish Spring. Yeah, you heard me. I want you to resist picturing a shower filled with those sensational Irish Spring suds. And if you succeed, well, you got what my gramps used to call resolutitude. Not a real word, but let's be honest, you're probably going to end up leaving with Irish Spring because of its irresistible scent and because you have zero resolutitude. Pick up Irish Spring at Walmart today.
Saturday, August the 12th, it's the return of the Cold Mountain Music Festival at beautiful Lake Logan, featuring the music of Eddie 9-Volt, Tyler Ramsey, Grizzly Goat, Unspoken Tradition, and the soulful sounds of headliner Betty LaVette. The festival has lots of great food and drink vendors, family-friendly activities, and camping and overnight accommodations available as well. For more information and to get your tickets, log on to coldmountainmusic.org. coldmountainmusic.org. Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia, Asheville.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
All right, I believe we've made some progress here. I believe we've convinced him. That's the daily draft today. Best cookies.
Best store-bought cookies. I still maintain. So do like Little Debbie cookies count?
If it's a cookie, not if it's a cake. If it's a snack cake, it doesn't count.
So like oatmeal cream pie doesn't count?
No, that's
okay,
not a cookie.
I pulled up a list and I went, that doesn't say cook. That says pie in the top. EatThis.com. You need to go to your room and figure out 11 best store-bought cookies, and you slam Keebler. You stop. Your own conversation.
We're doing individual cookies. Keebler's got 7 of the top 10.
Yes, they did. Keebler is very good.
It is the Sportsocracy. We will do that coming up at the top of the next hour. Daily draft will be best store-bought cookies. You can't take the, you can't take like the mom and pop store down the street. You can go to Ingles. Low prices, love the savings. Buy these off the store shelves. It is the Sportsocracy. Time for another off-season file. We open it up down in Tampa, where there is a legitimate quarterback competition. Baker Mayfield and Kyle Trask, obviously with the Tom Brady retirement. It's not going to be pretty for Tampa Bay this year. This is not a real good team. Despite the fact that they've got a lot of pieces still left over from a Super Bowl team just 3 years ago.
They also have Todd Bowles.
They do. And that's the biggest thing that hurts them.
Yeah, Todd Bowles dunks his Oreo cookies into, like, grease.
Grapefruit juice.
Yeah, that's even better.
Right.
Yeah, because Todd Bowles takes anything that will make you happy and breaks it.
Absolutely. Tampa, to me, there's not a lot of hope for this team this year. I mean, best case scenario, and that's everything goes perfectly for you, and some other teams have to fall on their faces. You got 8 wins, maybe.
I don't see how you're winning 8 games.
I mean, you could. You could see things going horribly in Carolina with the new coaching staff and the new quarterback. You could see things going horribly in Atlanta with the quarterback situation that they have. You could see, and then they got like the Texans on there, and there's some other teams that they could maybe beat out. But that's what I'm saying. Best case scenario is 8 wins.
Yeah, you start at the Vikings. You play the Bears, the Eagles, at the Saints, the Lions. That's 0-5. Mm-hmm. That just screams 0-5.
Absolutely.
Then you take on the Falcons. It is in Tampa Bay. I do feel like they owe you one from last year, so I don't love your chances there. At the Bills. Hey, then you get the Texans and the Titans.
Right.
Really fun. That's 2. Let's go 2. I hate this team. I hate this coach. For me, there are no positives here.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have all right, so you said there's still pieces left.
Yes.
Of those guys, how many of them are not 30 or older?
Are not 30 or older? I don't think Vita's 30.
Vita is like 28.
Devin's
I
not.
think. And he's been awful in large part.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's a great talent.
Shaq's 30.
Shaq's older than that, I'm pretty sure.
No, he's 30. He's right
30.
at 30 years old. Jamel, Dean, Antoine Winfield, Carlton Davis, all those guys are under 30. You've got young talent on the team. It's just you don't have the coach to bring it together.
Your coaching staff's awful. You haven't drafted well. The vast majority of your first-round picks have gone down in absolute flames. You got a couple receivers, and outside of that, I hate everything else on the offense.
Mm-hmm.
You have the worst quarterback situation in the league.
Yep.
I don't think you have a number 1 running back.
We don't. It's
I
Rashad
really
White.
don't. I feel like Rashad White should be a member of a committee, and he's not.
Mm-mm. He's the number 1.
And it just the line's not good.
See, I don't know about that. I don't know that the line's not good.
Worse, Ryan Jensen. In the message, repeat the line.
Okay.
I don't like any of the rest of it. Luke Gadecki, I didn't like him coming out. I thought he was a guard. He's a guard. He's a guard.
Don't like Matt Filer anymore? He's gassed and then got nothing left?
It's not so much that he's gassed. He just wasn't particularly good last year. Now he's 31 years old, and you're expecting him all of a sudden to be better than he was in a better situation. I've read this book before.
Mm-hmm.
And Cody Malk is a rookie that's coming into a bad situation with a right tackle outside of him that I don't like.
Mm-hmm. He's the next great superstar at interior lineman in the NFL. Just saying.
You love Cody Malk.
I do.
And I get
I'm
it.
so in love with him, and I can't wait to get a jersey.
He has no typhus, and you just love him.
And I will have a number 69 jersey.
It's just not a good team. And I don't think they even want to win. I genuinely feel like that is why Todd Bowles is still affiliated with this team. Because you cannot possibly feel good about him.
No.
And frankly, I'm going to go back to what I said a year ago when Bruce Arians walked away and they promoted Todd Bowles. I don't care what Bruce Arians wants. Todd Bowles is a horrifically bad football coach.
Mm-hmm.
I told you that last year, and you went, well, how bad can he be? And you figured it out.
It was quick.
Short order.
It was real quick.
He's the worst head coach I have ever seen in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
He is what Sean Payton said about Nathaniel Hackett, and he's now on his second bite at the apple and has done this for 6 years.
Right. They would not fire him last year after they should have, and you're going to get what you deserve here.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's going to be a really crappy team that'll put you in prime position at the top of the draft next year to choose Caleb Williams or Drake May.
The most Tampa Bay thing humanly possible is that you win 7 games with Baker Mayfield and you wind up picking 10.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to go, I guess we'll take Michael Penix Jr. Could have had Caleb Williams. We're going to have Drake May. But
who's still going to be far better than Baker Mayfield or Kyle Trask.
So would Tank Spencer, a Keebler elf, Sloan Jordan, who dunks his Oreos with a fork. Love that guy. He's the best of the bunch. It's not even close.
Right.
Uncle Rico, Napoleon Dynamite, somebody you actually found shopping at Home Depot. All better than Baker Mayfield.
It's not going to be a great season for my Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so hopefully we'll get the draft pick out of the deal. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN. Asheville Sports Center's next, and then it's time for the Daily Draft.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
We have been tracking the rain coming in from Tennessee and from the northwest. Some places have had inch-plus downpours. There have been some flood alerts up to the north of the city. Mid-60s tonight with rain chances diminishing as we head into the evening and just spotty showers in the Friday forecast, 82 degrees. Sunshine returning for Saturday with a high of 87 and a stray storm Sunday, 85. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slowing, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Exit 3. Future 26 eastbound stop and go between Broadway Street and 240. 26 eastbound slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Airport Road. 26 on the westbound side slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound heavy delays between the Smoky Park Highway and Georges Branch Road. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road. An accident in the stretch on the Royal Pines side. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road, northbound, approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Valero. Start saving on the road with Valero's 100 Days of Summer. Get fuel-saving snacks, swag, and more every day all summer long. Only with Valero Pay Plus. Download the app and start saving right now. Additional terms and conditions apply.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. This just in, ESPN's Pete Thamel reports Big Ten Commissioner Tony Petitti will explore adding Oregon and Washington to the conference. If the schools were added, they would only get partial shares of conference revenues. The president of Florida State, Richard McCullough, tells the school's board of trustees they might have to seriously consider leaving the ACC. FSU is not happy with the league's distribution of revenues. ESPN's Heather Dinich.
I don't think it's been any secret that Clemson and Miami have also been clamoring for more money and different distribution. And there has certainly been interest from other conferences and conversations about the value of North Carolina and Virginia in terms of their market and recruiting grounds.
Heather Dinich. The Jets and Browns kick off the NFL preseason tonight in the annual Hall of Fame game. Already in Canton today, a celebration of life for Hall of Famer Jim Brown, who died back in May at age 87. Brown played 9 years in Cleveland.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Green, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingalls Supermarkets.
It is the Sportsocracy. Welcome back into the Ingalls studio on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Having some fun here in the Ingalls studio on the opening day of the NFL season. I mean, let's be honest. We know that it's not kickoff day for the regular season, and these games don't mean anything. But by God, in 3 hours, football is back.
And I physically cannot wait.
8 o'clock tonight on NBC, live from Canton, Ohio. It's the Hall of Fame game with the New York Jets taking on the Cleveland Browns. Nobody you really care about is going to be playing in this game. I mean, unless you're a Browns fan or a Jets fan.
Which I'm.
Of course. No Aaron Rodgers, no Deshaun Watson. Starting quarterbacks for the game are going to be Zach Wilson and Kellen Mond.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Sweet.
But more importantly, football is back. And, you know, nothing goes with football quite like cookies. I mean, you think football, you think cookies, right?
Nope.
No, not necessarily.
The top 100, but somehow, me saying that Oreos are grossly overrated started a great cookie debate.
Well, because that might be the most un-American thing you've ever said.
Give it a minute. Trust me, I'm going to poo on another cookie like in pretty short order that I feel pretty sure you're going to take.
Okay.
But the traditional Oreo is not. It's just not as good as you make it out to be.
Okay.
I like the cookie itself. Crush that up, make a little.
That's not even the best part of the cookie.
I don't like cream.
Well, that just makes you weird.
I don't like cream.
Because if they sold that stuff in a jar, I would buy all of the jars.
And you would have diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
And we would have to roll you in here on a furniture dolly and have a forklift to put you in the back of your car.
Possibly. So, all right. So it's daily draft time. We do this top of the third hour of the program whenever we are here on ESPN Asheville. And today's daily draft, best store-bought cookies. So I had to answer Jeremy's question during the SportsCenter update there. No, Girl Scout cookies don't count here because you can't buy those in the store.
Well, you can buy them. I mean, you buy them from a Girl Scout in front of a store.
You can.
That, to me, counts.
It does not
Tank
count.
said no.
No. It's right now. We hopped in the old the old Rogue, and we go down to our favorite neighborhood Ingles store. Low prices, love the savings. We're gonna find these cookies on the shelf. Jeremy, you have the number one pick, so go ahead and take the cookie that I wouldn't even take.
Oh, I mean, I don't have to, and I know you're not going to, so I don't have to. I am going to take a very formidable cookie from the best cookie maker. It is the Keebler Fudge Stripe cookie. Anything that starts with Keebler fudge, we're good.
Mm-hmm. I have no qualms with that.
It's phenomenal cookie.
I am so happy that you took that one.
As opposed to
my number one pick, which is the EL Fudge. It's vastly superior to the Fudge Stripe because it's got the soft chocolate fudge in the middle of the vanilla cookie.
I can't eat as many of those. I thought about that. Those are so much heavier, I can't eat as many. That would probably have been my 3.
Okay.
Trust me, it's very good. It's just a little rich for me.
There is no such thing as too rich for me when it comes to cookies. I mean, unless you're talking about, those what do they call them at the Great American Cookie Company? The double doozies that they have that have the big like peanut or M&M cookies that have like an inch and a half of icing in the middle of them.
Out.
In my fatter days, I would polish off 2 or 3 of those in a sitting, but I can't do that.
It's too sweet
anymore. It is too sweet. Absolutely too sweet.
And look, Stephen Tao said you win round 1. You're going to find that you're not going to see me taking the sweetest of sweet cookie. I mean, I like sugar and I like chocolate. I don't love either one.
Mm-hmm. Now, second pick, as I said a moment ago, Keebler has some of the greatest cookies on the market. We're not allowed to take Girl Scout cookies. However, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Keebler makes Girl Scout cookies, in case you were wondering.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them. Like not the actual brand, but they make some that are exactly the same.
They're solid knockoffs.
And the Grasshopper is the best alternative to a Thin Mint.
The Grasshopper?
The Grasshopper is the best alternative to a Thin Mint on the market. It's the exact same cookie. It's just called something different.
And that's the Thin Mint?
Yep. It's the chocolate mint. And you put those things in the freezer, and I guarantee you can't tell the difference.
Yeah. I've always thought the Thin Mint was the most overrated Girl Scout cookie.
Oh, my God.
Everybody buys them, and I mean, I get it. They're fun when if somebody leaves one on your pillow at a hotel. But am I going to sit here and eat 23 of them? No.
Which is just insane. Because the serving size of those is one sleeve.
A vertical sleeve, not a horizontal sleeve.
You're talking about the Grasshoppers? I was talking about Thin Mints.
Oh, okay.
But Grasshoppers,
I was like, I don't know what they come in.
Grasshoppers come in a tray, just like EL cookie or fudge cookies do.
Okay.
Or Keebler cookies. They all come in trays, don't they?
Well, I told you that I am not a fan of the Oreo cookie.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't being 100% honest.
Of course he wasn't.
Because I do like the cookie. It's the cream I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
So my second selection is the peanut butter Oreo.
Okay, I'm with you.
Now those, I could eat 200 of those. And what's really fun, especially if you've had a night of either binge drinking or crimes, is that you separate them and you lay a little layer of Peter Pan peanut butter to just go even super peanut butter. That right there that's good eating. Now, I don't feel like I have to. You know what? I'm going to do it just to make sure I get it, because you're a jerk. And you might take my beloved Nutter Butter just to spite me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to take the Nutter Butter right here.
Okay. It's a great cookie.
That's fabulous.
It's not on my elite of the elite in sandwich cookies, but it's pretty good.
If I stop at a gas station, there is a great chance that I am procuring a Nutter Butter. I didn't have to take it first because I knew you wouldn't take it.
No.
But you're a jerk, and if I let it slide again, you will take it just to spite me.
Absolutely. Now, my next two picks come very easily because, well, you didn't. I let you have the Nutter Butter, and so I'm going to take the Oreo. Do I get all of the factions of the original Oreo in that? Do I get the double stuff? Do I get the mega stuff? Do I get no?
Of the cream-filled Oreo?
Cream-filled Oreo.
Yes.
Okay.
That's original Oreo with roaming creams.
Right. I was going to say if we're parsing here, then I'm going to have to go with the double stuff because it is, to me, the cream is that's the part that I want of the Oreo cookie.
I get it.
I will eat the middle out of the cookie and then dunk the cookie in the milk with no cream in it. Oreo is the classic.
I like the cookie, not the cream.
Mm-hmm. And then I got to go back to the well here. I told you Keebler's got 7 of the top 10 best cookies on the market. This is another one. It's the Coconut Dreams. They're the exact same as the Samoas from the Girl Scout cookies. It's the graham cracker cookie. I think it's a graham cracker cookie on the inside. It's got the chocolate fudge on the bottom. It's got the stripe across the top, but also on the top is the caramel and the coconut.
I absolutely hate coconut, and I don't like caramel. So we could have done. I've never even heard of the cookie you just took. Amy knows if it's got coconut in it, he's out.
Oh, you're done.
I will not touch it.
Okay.
The only exception to that is the Girl Scout cookie that's got the shaved coconut on top. I don't even remember what that thing's called. I will eat like one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Then just grit through the coconut, which is gross.
I love all of those things. And so when they put it together in a cookie, and I first discovered the Girl Scout Samoas, I think they've changed so many times. They went Samoas, and then they went Caramel Delights, and then I think they went back to Samoas at one point, and then they realized, and then I guess wokeness got them, and they were like, well, we can't do that. I don't know what the hell they're called now, but they're fantastic.
Well, you left one for me that I am dumbfounded that you haven't taken yet.
Mm-hmm.
I told you that a Chip Ahoy tastes like a horse hoof with chocolate chips in it. That's the standard Chip Ahoy.
Mm-hmm.
The chewy Chip Ahoy, that is not awful. And after, especially late at night, you're craving something sweet. And it's in the pantry, and you just know exactly what it's going to be because it's such a consistent cookie. You go drill like a sleeve of chewy Chip Ahoys. It's as good as it gets.
Okay.
I feel like you'll take this if I don't. It's the Pepperidge Farm Milano cookie.
Oh, that's the mint chocolate?
Not necessarily. There are different kinds. Mint chocolate that's a variant. That is not the one that I would choose. I'm talking about the standard just has chocolate in the middle. And it's a lovely little treat. And it goes that to me is it's almost not a cookie. Because I feel like I could have 2 of those for breakfast and I would be just fine.
Mm-hmm.
Little cup of coffee, little Milano, good to go.
It's a great choice. I like both of those choices. The Milano cookie, I don't know that I've ever had a regular Milano cookie. I think I've only had the mint chocolate.
They make several different variants.
Okay.
There's one that I really like that I can't for some reason think of what it is. Very tasty, though.
Okay. Pepperidge Farm does make a lot of really good cookies.
They also remember. Never forget that. Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Pepperidge Farm remembers. But the Milano cookie's not the one I'm gonna run to the shelf for.
I like the Milano.
It's not bad.
It's a very versatile.
Mm-hmm.
Have it any time of day. Nice little snack. And it's phenomenal with coffee.
I got to go with the Sausalito cookie. The Pepperidge Farm Sausalito. It's the milk chocolate macadamia nut cookie.
So what's it called?
It's the Sausalito.
I have no clue how to spell that.
Sausalito.
All right, we're gonna try.
Yeah, Sausalito, Pepperidge Farm, milk chocolate, macadamia nut. I love macadamia nuts.
I do not.
White chocolate macadamia nut cookies are phenomenal. I've just never found a store-bought version that's any good. I'm sure there's one that exists, and if you know of one, hit us up in the YouTube comments and tell me which one it is, because I've never had a store-bought one that's any good. That's always the one that I go to that comes from the bakery, because it's soft and it's good and it's awesome. But I think I got to go with the Sausalito.
Undrafted free agent.
Super chunky, which was also my nickname in high school.
100%. So was my prom date in high school.
The undrafted free agent. Go ahead.
Oh, you're letting me take the...
Go ahead. You take it.
It's Fig Newton.
Damn it! I thought there was no way you were going to go Fig Newton.
Yeah, it's Fig Newton. Fig Newtons are awesome.
It's not a cookie, though. It's a cake.
It's not a cake. It says cookie on the package.
Still one of my favorite commercial campaigns of all time.
I am a 36-year-old man. I don't know what a fig is. And I don't care. That is the only exposure to a fig that I have ever gotten. And it's delectable. And they have there's different kinds. There's a strawberry one that's just awesome.
I'm almost willing to admit defeat on this one because I let you have Fig Newton.
Woo!
But I don't because my list is better than yours, and I got to go with the Tate's chocolate chip cookies.
The what?
Tate's.
T-A-T-E-S?
Yeah, they come in a little green bag, and they have Tate's minis, and they also have regular size cookies. The minis are phenomenal. You can get them at Ingles. They're always on sale at Ingles for like $10 for $10. You can get them $1 a bag, and it's like eating a very improved version of the Cookie Crisp cereal.
Oh,
little tiny chocolate chip cookies,
Crisp.
and they're small, they're crunchy, but they're really thin. And I that's the only way I want a crunchy cookie. Is if it's really thin.
In the chat, it seems pretty universal that I am your rating defending.
How?
Because I smoked you like a...
Stop
I smoked
that.
you like a honey ham. That's
Stop that.
This feels like one I should put on Facebook just to... Who's got the better list here? Because I usually with food things, I will go, you know what? I have weird tastes. Not everybody is going to take the bland things that I like because I have, a prison palate. So not most people are going to go, hey, he won that. This is universal. This is like walk off. Stephen Towle went full Bill Raftery. The dagger! Onions! It's great. Smoked. Let's go.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. You did not win that.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. Future 26 eastbound light delays between Broadway Street and 240. 26 eastbound slowing between Brevard Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Again, 26 eastbound slowing between Long Shoals Road and Airport Road. 26 westbound very busy between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound slow between the 26-240 split and Georges Branch Road. An accident reported on Airport Road near Watson Road. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. I'm Lyman Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples has great prices on all the back-to-school essentials. Now you can save even more with $25 back in rewards on your in-store purchase of $75 or more. Rewards members only, ends August 5th. Redeemable in-store only. School on, save on at Staples.
Foo Fighters,
Fall Out Boy,
Kelly Clarkson,
Kane Brown,
Lil Wayne,
Lenny Kravitz,
Miguel,
Public Enemy,
Sheryl Crow,
Travis Scott,
Tim McGraw,
TLC,
30 Seconds to Mars.
Get your tickets now.
For 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
AXS.com.
This is my Carolina Panthers bobblehead, my 04 NFC Championship jersey, and my Panthers scratch-off from the North Carolina Education Lottery.
Whoa, you could win $200,000 and even 4 season tickets to the Panthers Vault? Why haven't you scratched it?
It's in mint condition.
New Panthers Scratch-Offs. Enter to win season tickets to the Vault, a field-level premium seating experience. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 4.23. Carolina Panthers is a registered trademark of Panthers Football, LLC. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Wendy's is open till midnight or later, so you can give in to the craving and go night mode. Now all of your favorite menu items just got their bedtime extended. You can get what you want even later, like the Baconator with 6 strips of bacon, or the perfect fries and frosty duo. If you're up later, then so are we. So go ahead and pull through the drive-thru. When the craving hits, go night mode at Wendy's. Open till midnight or later. All right, see ya later.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary.
Join Western Carolina Rescue Ministries for the 5th annual Light Up the Night 5K. Help raise funds in support of our community that will be directly used to support moms and babies in the Avis House Recovery Program. Light Up the Night 5K will take place at Carrier Park in Asheville on Friday, August 4th. Participants will take to the Greenway to run or walk this fun and unique event. With a 7:30 start time, you can learn more and sign up at westerncarolinarescue.org/LUTN23.
The fresh scent of Irish Spring and the sensational Irish Spring Suds are just the reset you need to own the day. Irish Spring. When the spring hits you, you're ready. Pick up Irish Spring at your local retailer today.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Attention, it's time for the morning announcements. Make sure your parents are aware of the Ingalls Tools for Schools program and ask them to link their Ingalls Advantage card to our school. Remember, you have to do it each year. Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Sportsocracy.
You two are just dumber than a bag of hammers.
Back on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400, coming to you from the Ingalls studio. Yes, and if you want any of the cookies that we were just talking about, you can find them at your local Ingalls store. Low prices. Love the savings.
It's officially time. It's time, Tank.
Pee-wee?
Oh, no, well, no. I mean, also, R.I.P. Pee-wee.
Yes.
It's time for you to finally tap out
on
Antonio Gibson.
Why?
Because Brian Robinson is apparently annihilating him at Commanders camp.
Really?
Just unequivocally dog-walking him. And there's been a weird – look, one of the biggest things that we always said about Antonio Gibson is he would have work for what reason?
Pass catching.
Because he can catch passes.
Absolutely.
Well, apparently now so can Brian Robinson. So
well, that's a problem.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you're a one-trick pony, it doesn't end well when somebody does your trick better than you do. And I think that is where we've gotten to with Washington.
And so they think Brian Robinson has better hands than he does now?
He has been fantastic in camp, and I will say this with the Mullet Man of the Canton Ultimate Fantasy Draft Kit coming out 1 week from today during our quarter marathon starting noon Eastern time next Thursday, running 6 hours of fantasy football goodness here on the YouTubes. I don't know that any player has skyrocketed my rankings more in the last 7 days than Brian Robinson.
Interesting.
I was avoiding him like he was on fire. Now I'm finding myself mid-fifth round. It's entirely possible.
It's worth the shot.
Patrick Holt said he's still too good not to use. Here's the problem. I'm going to tell you this the same way that somebody in the NFL phrased it to me yesterday. Can Antonio Gibson block?
Nope.
No. Does he have fumble problems?
Yes.
Name me the running back that's ever played for Eric Bieniemy that had either of those problems, let alone both of them. It's the one thing you can't do, and it's pushed him down the chart. I'm not 100% sure he's on this roster come week one.
Well,
and
I mean,
if
he'll
he
be
is,
traded.
Oh, well, that's how that.
I was going to say.
But he would be traded for virtually
him.
nothing. He has no trade value. I mean, we've been through this with running backs. It's getting harder and harder for me to see where he's at.
Yeah.
Stephen Tao in the YouTube comments said Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Yeah, they used a first-round pick on him. He was legally dead last year to Eric Bieniemy. It was, I have no other option. Cool. I will give him the ball 4 times a game. That's what pushed him out, is that he had fumble problems.
Yeah.
Antonio Gibson's had those his entire career. So I'm not sure he's on the roster, but I will tell you this. The reviews on Sam Howell have been pretty good, and I think he's going to be pretty good. I just can't figure – Washington, of all the teams in the NFL, is probably the number one team that I cannot figure out what you're going to be. I think you have the talent to be a playoff team.
Really?
I do. I think Washington has the talent to be. What's lacking?
Well, I mean, their offensive line's not great.
It's fine. Trust me. Look down at other teams in the NFC, and you'll come back to this and go, "Oh, that's fine." I mean, I'm not jumping up and down about it.
Tampa's
it's fine.
is better.
Yeah.
But and you just finished saying in the last hour that Tampa didn't have a good offensive line. So
with immobile Baker Mayfield and Kyle Trask, who would lose to me in a foot race, I worry about the pieces there. I don't worry about that with Sam Howell.
Oh, okay.
I also don't worry about that because I'm really starting to believe in Brian Robinson, and I've always loved the weapons. I think Washington's line's much closer to Tampa's than you want to acknowledge.
They may be. I guess. We've always talked about the front. We've always talked about the front four for Washington,
which
on
I
the
think
defense.
is going to be terrifying.
I mean, they should be terrifying every year. And now with Chase Young healthy and facing the abyss of his career, I mean, not the abyss, but you know what I mean. Like, they didn't pick up the 5th-year option on him. He has to have a good year this year if he wants to cash in free agency next year or to get that extension with them. I don't really like your secondary in Washington all that much.
Why?
I mean, Kendall Fuller's
a 2.
He's fine.
He's a legit 2 in the NFL. Emmanuel Forbes is your 1.
I guess I just haven't seen enough of him to be
I love
convinced
him so much
that he is a legit number 1 corner in this league.
He has, and now you got to be careful doing this because it does cherry pick things. If you watch their social media, Emmanuel Forbes has been in every single defensive video I've seen come out of Washington.
Mm-hmm. And your linebacking core is not good.
Linebackers are not. They're not good. No, I'll agree with that.
They are not good. So I mean, that's 2/3 of your defense that I don't believe in at all.
I like the secondary way better than you.
I don't believe in your offensive line. You know how I feel about Sam Howell. I love him, and I hope that he is great in this league. But outside of Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson, I'm not really sure I'm in love with anything else that you have.
Well, the thing I hate for Washington is that your schedule starts. I mean, it's positive that it starts slowly because you start with Arizona, which should be an easy win. I think Denver could easily be a win. I could see them going to Denver and beating them.
Mm-hmm.
Catch Buffalo and Philadelphia. That's not going to end well. Chicago, Atlanta, New York, Philadelphia, New England. You could win 4 of those 5 games. The problem is how it ends. Because you go at Seattle, the Giants, at Dallas, Miami, bye week, at the Rams, at the Jets, San Francisco, Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
That is evil. So I could easily see Washington starting really hot. But I don't see how you're going to finish hot.
No. It's damn near impossible
it
for
really
you to
is.
finish hot. And, okay, so win 4 out of the first 5 games. I mean, we end up with 5 or 6 wins at the end of the season. You're going to feel good about that. You feel like this team is going somewhere.
Every time I do this, I somehow wind up at 7-10 or 8-9. Every time I have gone through this procedure, I just don't see how it's going to be better than that. And I think this team's more talented than that. In terms of talent in the NFC, I think all 4 teams in the NFC East are in the top 7. Do you disagree with anything I just said?
No.
I think the NFC East has 4 of the 7 best teams in the NFC. Problem is that you play all of the teams in your division twice, and you play the AFC East.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how anybody outside of Dallas and Philadelphia is going to come out of that standing.
Yeah. Just yesterday, Antonio Gibson was doing an interview with one of the reporters at camp. And they're talking to him about, if you had to do it all over, would you do anything different? He said, obviously, the way the market is now, I would have been a wide receiver rather than being a running back. He said in the interview that it's too late now. He's settled into playing running back, and he's not going to change now. I think maybe you need to reconsider that.
Well, I mean,
Antonio.
He was clamoring to run routes just a week ago.
He should.
The only problem is that is he going to play over Jahan Dotson? No. Is he going to play over Terry McLaurin? Good Lord, no. Is he going to play over Curtis Samuel?
He should.
You're drunk. You've always been drunk on Antonio Gibson. That might be the drunkest thing you've ever said. Now, Curtis Samuel's a better receiver, and frankly, he's a better running back, if I was being honest. He's better at what you do, let alone you being better at what he does.
I don't even kind of agree with that, but okay. I hope he finds another spot. Obviously, it looks like he's fallen out of favor here. He does have his problems, and I've always understood him.
And he may end up as the 2. I don't think you're going to see as much work because of Eric Bieniemy. Gomaha23 in our YouTube comment said Derek Carr ain't dead yet. I've got New Orleans would be in that top 7.
Mm-hmm.
My top 7 talented teams in the NFC would be the 2 from the West, San Francisco and Seattle, New Orleans, and the 4 of the NFC East. And then I would have Chicago and Detroit probably right behind. I'm souring on Detroit, and it has absolutely nothing to do with their offense.
What is it?
I don't think the defense is as good as people are making it out to be.
Okay.
And you're going to get into a whole lot of shootouts, and you have got a whole lot of expectation. Look, I love Ben Johnson. I just played a round of golf with his dad earlier this week. Right. I love Ben. I love that offense.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Aaron Glenn. The more I'm hearing, the more I'm like, where is this expectation coming from? I had somebody argue with me the other day that Detroit is the 3rd best team in the NFC. And I went, are you on recreational crimes right now? Because that might be the stupidest thing I've heard in many, many moons. Because that means you either think they're better than 2 of the 3 I'm getting ready to say.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas, San Francisco, Seattle. For me, not close. Not even in the ballpark.
None of them.
Detroit's not the ballpark of any of those three. Now, you want to tell me they're better than Washington? I get it. I'm talking about sheer talent. They're going to finish better than Washington.
Mm-hmm.
If you traded schedules, I'm not sure that it wouldn't be pretty close. But unfortunately for Washington, you drew a very short straw
Yes,
here,
you did.
catching 10 of your games against your division in the AFC East. There's not much for me to love there.
Yeah. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. There's one more team to do on the offseason files, and we just talked about them.
That's who we just did.
So
that's why there's been a...
Do we have to do more?
No.
On the Washington Commanders? Okay, good. There's your offseason
Yeah,
files by the Washington Commanders.
We'll do it in past, present. That was the offseason file for the Washington Commanders.
And RIP, my hopes for Antonio Gibson, at least in a Washington Commanders uniform.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
We have been tracking the rain coming in from Tennessee and from the northwest. Some places have had inch-plus downpours. There have been some flood alerts up to the north of the city. Mid-60s tonight with rain chances diminishing as we head into the evening and just spotty showers in the Friday forecast, 82 degrees. Sunshine returning for Saturday with a high of 87 and a stray storm Sunday, 85. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 westbound eastbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, very busy. Future 26 westbound slow between Broadway Street and New Stock Road. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Airport Road. 40 westbound stop and go between the 26-240 split and George's Branch Road. An accident near the Smoky Park Highway has the right lane closed. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road is slow. Hendersonville Road southbound near Airport Road, an accident, right lane closed. Sweeten Creek Road southbound slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. I'm Lemon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means... Wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match, only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
Missing your NFL team's out-of-market games? Not a great plan. A much better plan? Switch to My Plan from Verizon and get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV on us with eligible phone purchase and Unlimited Plus. That's a value of up to $449. Get every out-of-market game every Sunday afternoon. Switch to My Plan at your Verizon store today. And for a limited time, get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV on us with eligible phone purchase and Unlimited Plus. It's your Verizon. $449 value applies to NFL Sunday Ticket season 23-24 only. Additional terms and embargoes apply to NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube. No refunds.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
I believe real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We need to take this opportunity to remind you, you need to get in now on the Ultimate Fantasy Draft Contest. Beer City's Ultimate Fantasy Draft Contest is live. You can get your tickets now. Just go to the sportsocracy.com, click the live video link on the YouTube channel, and then go to the description of the YouTube video for today or any day of the last 6 weeks. And the links are there for you to get in on the Ultimate Fantasy Draft Contest. We'll be hosting your draft. We'll give you and your league mates the red carpet treatment. We'll stream your draft online. It's going to be a whole lot of fun, a whole lot of frivolity, and of course, a whole lot of alcohol will probably be consumed throughout that day. But get in on the contest now. Also want to remind you, coming up a week from today, there will be no show on ESPN Asheville, but we will be doing our fantasy football quarter marathon from 12 until 6 next Thursday, only on the YouTube, uncensored, and all the fun that can be had. We'll be doing mock drafts. We will do rankings. We will have the juiciest of tidbits from the Mullet Man and the Canton fantasy guide that will be coming out on that Thursday as well. So mark your calendars for that. Next Thursday, 12 to 6, will be the fantasy football quarter marathon on the YouTube stream. Now, it's time for the most important message of the day.
Don't do crimes!
Yeah, don't do crimes. And there's a dude doing crimes out in Nevada, and it's weird stuff. Just don't be weird. Why do you have to do weird things? It's okay to be a freak. Just don't let your freak flag fly. Especially to the point where it causes you to break into people's homes and fondle their feet. What is wrong with you? Mark Anthony Gonzalez, 26 years old, arrested on Tuesday because on multiple occasions he broke into Lake Tahoe homes and would find sleeping women inside, and then he would just massage their feet while they slept. On at least 2 different occasions, the females, the victims in this case, woke up with the guy rubbing their feet.
Don't be weird.
He immediately, of course, ran away when they freaked out, because obviously you would. I can't even imagine. I just couldn't imagine. Like, where your brain would be if you woke up in the middle of the night and there's a stranger just rubbing on your feet.
Mine's going to go full Shawn Michaels super kick.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, you're catching a sweet chin music to the old snooter immediately.
He's also accused in 2 other break-ins where apparently there was no foot fondling involved. Apparently the owners of those condominiums had left their screen doors unlocked, which, you should never do. But he has a history of similar crimes that involve fetish-like behavior. He was the suspect in numerous incidents in the Atwater area, quote, by police, including the theft of women's shoes, trespassing, and sexual self-gratification during some of those incidents.
So he's a foot guy, that's what you're telling me.
He's very much in the Rex Ryan Foot Club, and he's obviously facing charges. My question is, what do you do? What do you do with a guy like this? I mean, I think you got to give him like a hefty sentence and just leave him there.
Well,
for a while.
You know what you don't do? Let him work at a Payless Shoes. My story comes from Colorado, the western slope town of Carbondale. Have you ever heard the phrase, a date which will live in infamy?
Yes.
Do you remember what that was in reference to?
World War II.
It was Pearl Harbor.
Right.
That was President Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Yes.
Well, that same phrase has been used in a lawsuit by real estate developer Craig Spencer. Pearl Harbor
no relation.
Do you know? December 7th, 1941 was Pearl Harbor. He is referencing March 26th, 2022. Do you know what happened that day?
No.
That infamous day that Mr. Spencer is referring to?
No.
That was the day his daughter got married. And it was a horrific wedding nightmare costing over $2 million.
Holy
So
cow.
you ask, did his daughter get married?
Yes, she did.
Are they still married?
Yes.
What happened that is making him compare this wedding day to Pearl Harbor?
I don't know.
The audio equipment went bad.
Oh.
Yeah, that's you ever heard that term hyperbole? I believe Mr. Spencer might be hyperboling. They had planned it was a whole weekend. There was a 12-piece band flown into the Aspen town from Los Angeles. They had a private performance from once famous rapper Nelly, which I don't necessarily think that cost a ton, because I don't necessarily know that he was doing a whole mess. Hey, what are you doing?
Oh, come on. Didn't he have
the money I made from Hotting Her for the 417th time?
Hotting Her.
That's what I do, and I guess I can do that next week. I'm a busy man.
Hotting Her.
Well, apparently all of the audio equipment went down.
Okay.
So the venue, stalling to give technicians time, pushed the guests' 5:30 gondola ride, which you have to ride a gondola to get up there. Then you have to take another one to come back down. They pushed that from 5:30 to 6:30. So the wedding was pushed from 6 to 7. What was supposed to be a 7 o'clock cocktail hour couldn't start until 7:35, and we kept doing this with all of the things. So it pushed all of the events back a little bit, which that does sound like a bit of an inconvenience, doesn't it? Well, the coup de grace was they had fought audio, and so instead of this 12-piece band, there was a DJ playing music through a single, barely audible speaker. These are all quotes from the lawsuit. Whatever will we do? Then they get the audio back up for a shortened set from Nelly, which I guess that means he's singing Hot and Her, only half of it, because I don't actually know what other songs he would sing.
Country Grammar.
I ain't got Tim McGraw, so you didn't pay for Tim McGraw.
Tim McGraw?
Or not. That's not Country Grammar. What was the name of that song he did with Over and Over Again? Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, so he had two. Sorry. Country Grammar. Yes, Country Grammar was good. So I guess since it was a truncated Nelly performance, you only got Country Grammar instead of Hot and Her also. So that started at 11:30. Was supposed to start at 11:30. Didn't take the stage till 12:20. Well, music has to stop on the mountain by 1 o'clock. So you paid Nelly all this money to come out and sing his hit. Nos. And he was only able...
He also had Ride With Me.
And he was only able to sing one before the audio crashed again. Now they're suing these guys for $2 million because the audio went bad.
It ruined the whole experience of the $2 million wedding.
Well, you know what ruined the $2 million experience? The fact that you went, hey, you know what we should do? We should hire Nelly to be our wedding entertainment.
Hey, you don't know.
You could have hired, for a quarter of that, you could have hired me, and I kind of look and sound like Luke Combs. So spend your money better. All right. You should spend your money better. And maybe don't be so hyperbolic comparing a bad wedding experience to Pearl Harbor.
Well, I mean, in the grand scheme of the world, obviously it doesn't stack up. But if I'm dropping $2 million on a wedding,
as somebody that DJ'd over 200 weddings, let me be real frank with you. If you're spending $2 million on a wedding, you need to have less money because you can obviously not be trusted with it because you are a moron. You can have the most beautiful wedding you have ever seen in this city, which is like Wedding USA, for under $100,000. Now, I am fervently of the Mike Leach way of thinking, elope. It's way cheaper, and you can do it in a very tropical destination. Or do what Amy and I did and have really good friends that take really good care of you, and then you don't spend crazy amounts of money.
Mm-hmm.
All of those things are possible. But you know what we didn't have? Nelly. If I was going to have a mediocre 2000s.
Oh, this should be good.
Oh, if I was going to have a mediocre 2000s group play at my wedding, it's Creed. No doubt. Let's go. Scott Stapp singing bangers all night long. All you got to do, give them a little bus fare, get them into where you're going, maybe get them a grilled cheese sandwich because they haven't really had a whole mess of things going on over the last 20 years. Maybe feed them off your lovely your menu. And then maybe you take them to the bar and start buying domestic lights. Boom. Wedding entertainment. Better than Nelly. Not close. Let's go. Wedding planner green right here. I bet you can even get the crash test dummies to open up for them for an extra $100.
Guarantee you, it costs at least $150.
Well,
there are
you got to fly them from Canada, so it's
like 5 guys in the band. They all got to split that somehow.
Spirit Airlines. Let's go.
$25 a piece. Let's go. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. Future 26 eastbound delays approaching Broadway Street, continuing to New Stock Road. 26 on the eastbound side slow between the French Broad River and Airport Road. 26 westbound slowing between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound slowing between the 26-240 split Malfunction Junction and George's Branch Road. 40 westbound near Newfound Road, delays due to an accident. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road is slow. Hendersonville Road southbound, stop and go in the Arden area, approaching Airport Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound, delays between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. I'm Lemon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com. Looking for your next job? Express can help. Express Employment Professionals has put more than 10 million people to work in the last 40 years in all types of industries. With competitive pay and no fee to help you find a job, what are you waiting for? Visit ExpressPros.com today.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival is coming back to Las Vegas.
September 22nd and 23rd at T-Mobile Arena.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
And starting Monday, you could win your way there.
Plus $1,000 spending cash.
Yeah.
Having the time of your life is more rewarding than ever when you visit any MGM Rewards destination nationwide. Dine, stay, play, and earn on all of it. Details at MGMRewards.com. Subject to earning and redemption limitations applicable to certain purchases and in certain states.
The Rolling Stones were rock royalty, and to America they came to receive their crowns. iHeartRadio's new podcast, Stones Touring Party, puts you at the epicenter, featuring never-before-heard archival interviews with the band members themselves.
The only way to do it to it like that is to be as high as you can be.
The Stones become the world's greatest rock and roll band on the 1972 tour.
I'm your host, Jordan Runtag. Listen to Stones Touring Party on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your favorite shows.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
Can.
I mean, the only thing is you do have to get them out of Canada. And frankly,
Right.
two of them look like they may not survive that trip.
Right. Just in case you were wondering, coming up this Friday night, they're going to be live at the Winkler Harvest Festival in Winkler, Manitoba.
And for some reason, all of their imaging now looks like they have moved into a new genre of really bad Christian rock. Every picture I've seen of them in the last 10 years, they look genuinely awful.
That's awful.
Oh.
That's one of those that Weird Al did the parody song, and the parody song was better than that one.
That song was a banger. All right. That one CD they had, I know every word of every song. And, they really appreciate my support. They send me a birthday card every year.
Is that the number one on your debut albums list?
I mean, if we're talking one-hit wonders, that was a solid one-hit wonder. Because that was a good song. You listened to that in 1995.
Of course I did.
And none of us ever questioned, hey, why does this song suck? And we listened to it 100 times a day.
Absolutely.
I remember it specifically.
It's because it was better than much of the things that they were playing on the radio in those
the Verve
days.
Pipe.
No, that was way before the Verve Pipe.
Yeah, I guess it was. That was in the heyday of Matchbox 20. We had to have something break up the 7 number ones that Matchbox 20 got off one album.
It is the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM at 1400. Football's back.
It's not just football, folks. It's not just sports. We're stupid when it comes to other things, too.
100%. 100%. That's why we work well together. Tonight, 8 o'clock on NBC, it is the Hall of Fame game from Canton, Ohio. The New York Jets.
You said it wrong. Your 2023 Super Bowl champion, New York Jets.
Taking on the Cleveland Browns in the Hall of Fame game tonight. Enjoy the festivities. And do not forget to mark your calendars 1 week from today. We will have the quarter marathon, the fantasy football quarter marathon from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. only on the YouTube channel 1 week from today. We will not have a show tomorrow because of Atlanta Braves baseball, so we'll get one more day off, and then it is balls to the wall, nothing but football after that, because other than next Thursday, I don't see another day off for us for Braves baseball. I think there's like 1 or 2 more in September, and that is it.
Let's go!
Yes, football season has arrived. We will see you back here on Monday at 3 in the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
We have been tracking the rain coming in from Tennessee and from the northwest. Some places have had inch-plus downpours. There have been some flood alerts up to the north of the city. Mid-60s tonight with rain chances diminishing as we head into the evening and just spotty showers in the Friday forecast, 82 degrees. Sunshine returning for Saturday with a high of 87 and a stray storm Sunday, 85. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 west and eastbound delays on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge. Future 26 eastbound slow between Broadway Street and New Stock Road. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound delays east of Long Shoals Road to Airport Road. 40 westbound slow between the 26-240 split Malfunction Junction and George's Branch Road. 40 westbound again very busy at Newfound Road due to an accident. In the Arden area, Hendersonville Road southbound very busy approaching Airport Road. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
Sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com, and I sell custom blinds designed for do-it-yourselfers. Unlike stock blinds offered at big box retailers, Blindster blinds are custom made for your windows and shipping is free. Don't hire an expensive pro. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and